You are listening to the decision reel.
Anyways, hey, welcome to the Decision Reel, where we try and fail to review movies of today and yesterday. This week, we're looking at a movie as picked by Randy. What movie did you pick, Randy?
Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2, to continue on your Marvel cinematic adventure.
Yeah.
We're doing that this week.
I kind of wish I picked Thor, like you had said, but, you know, I'm just going to keep going in order.
Yeah, Thor would have made sense, right? Because the new one just came out, and we could have talked about it and whatnot. But, you know, whatever, Randy, you got more. Yeah, you got more coming up.
I like how you're wearing the Marvel shirt today.
Oh, yeah. Look.
Smart.
I like it.
You see what I did? Although you can't see Iron Man because he's all the way
down there. And I'm sure
the bottom.
The green Hulk isn't really coming through either because we're in front of green screens. It's probably...
You can see his teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's all fuzzy.
It works.
I like it. Anyways, we also have Josh back on the couch.
Yes.
Doing his thing, coming here, helping us in reviewing Iron Man 2, as well as Tara still being here for the month of... What month is it? July?
July.
Yeah, I don't know. What is time?
This is it, though, isn't it?
No, you got one more, right? Next week.
July ends this weekend, so
it
I
does?
didn't know if, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I
does.
can.
See, what is time? I don't
Let's
remember.
be honest, you'll probably be on in August as well.
Possibly, yeah. Let me look now.
Maybe
I don't
September,
even know.
However
October,
long you need.
However
November,
long.
and December.
You might. Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. So, well, next week is going to be a special episode anyways. We'll get to that a little bit later with some guests. But I digress.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know about that?
Yeah, I remembered.
Oh, look at you.
I don't.
It took me a second. I was like, huh?
Clearly, I'm not one of the guests, or else I would probably.
Well, maybe we'll see. We'll see. We're gonna we'll see where things go.
We got an extra chair.
We do have an extra chair.
The actual guest.
For the actual guest that would be here, and then we'll see who's here. Anyways, this week, like I said, we're talking about Iron Man 2, what that movie is about. With the world now aware of his identity as Iron Man, Tony Stark must contend with both his declining health and vengeful madman who ties to his father's legacy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Does anybody hate this movie out the gate? Just say it.
I'm not an Iron Man guy.
Okay, go. Do it. Do your thing. Do your spiel.
You respect the character, Iron Man, because of what he brings to everything else, right? But in the solo version of Iron Man, it's just an egotistical madman.
100%.
Really?
Well, yeah, but that's who he is. Though.
Yeah. But but I understand. Like in the long run, it turns out to be fantastic. You know, and spoiler alert. I can't be spoiled by now, but tears were shed.
You're right.
I won't lie.
Yeah.
I shed a tear. But just the solo version of these movies, I was never a big fan of.
I get what you're saying, right? Because if you're taking it as when this movie drops and you don't know what is going to happen, right? Tony Stark is an asshole.
Yeah.
An egotistical asshole who only cares about himself. Now,
he's a narcissist.
Yeah. Right. But you're seeing...
Which he concurs with at the end of the movie.
True. Right. Well, and that's the thing. Like, through two movies, if we're just looking at these two movies, because if that's how we're reviewing them, are we reviewing them as a whole in the Marvel Universe, Randy? Or are we just looking at them as what they are concurrently with where we are in the state of the movies?
Would you like us to just review it as its own entity?
That's what.
Iron Man 2?
Yeah.
Well, like the movies in general, because if we're gonna do like everything as a sequel now,
right?
Or it's like a trilogy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's up to you because you're picking these movies. So are we reviewing it as a whole? It's like we know what had happened afterwards, or are we looking at it?
No, we're not there yet.
Randy doesn't.
Yeah, he's seen everything.
Kind of.
I've seen all of them.
All of them.
Multiple times.
There's only one movie he does not like. And he doesn't think it's even in the Marvel universe, which is the Incredible Hulk.
Hulk sucked.
I would
I'm not a fan of the older Hulks.
No,
but like
the one with what's his face,
Edward Norton. Yeah. I like that movie.
It wasn't bad, but again, that's the solo story for me. There, it's not a
No.
Give me it all.
Yeah,
which is what they end up giving us.
Sure,
I do like the Banner Hulk. I like Banner Hulk. I mean, you know what I mean, like the new guy.
Yeah. He brought.
I know he's always Banner, but I'm saying
he brought the right personality to it.
Yeah.
You know, like
I definitely agree with that. Yeah, like because Edward Norton's kind of playing it like Robert Downey Jr., kind of like shitty and like I'm all about myself.
Yeah, and Mark Ruffalo's like a whole different person.
Yes,
when he's each one.
I think the main thing I don't like about it is how the Hulk looks. I don't like that Hulk at all.
The old one?
Yeah, the one with Edward Norton.
The look of him. Oh.
Yeah.
well, look,
I'm just trying to think in my brain what he's looking like.
I can't even remember.
Yeah,
now.
because I just got
I'm
Ruffalo.
so used to the Ruffalo Hulk.
It was a different green. I know it was a darker green. I think.
Well, so there's the Ang Lee Hulk movie that came out before that even, where he was like super green with like super purple fucking shorts.
Shorts, right?
And he was like way bigger than what he ended up being in these movies. I remember that.
Fifth. Not a fan. I don't like it.
Okay, yeah.
Show the class here. What we got?
Oh.
Yeah, the face is weird.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't look like his person. He doesn't look like Edward Norton turned into the Hulk. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But Mark Ruffalo looks like Mark Ruffalo as the
and I
Hulk.
wonder,
Such as.
Yes.
And I wonder if they did that because they learned their lesson with that movie. Like, hey, it looks weird because he doesn't look like Edward Norton. Or maybe they tried to make it look like Edward Norton, and it just wasn't like, yo, this isn't intimidating as the Hulk because it's Edward Norton. Yeah. We fucked up, guys. Maybe we should cast somebody else. And guess what? They did.
Back to the whole Tony Stark
and
dick thing.
Oh yeah, Iron Man 2, right?
Right. We're still in Marvel. It's fine.
When he's in court, at the very end, he says, "I single-handedly privatized world peace."
Well, that's in the beginning.
That's when they're in court.
Well, yeah, that's who he is.
Yeah.
That's how. I mean. He made that pretty
Privatized
clear
world peace.
in the first one,
Kind of a
bro.
dick move.
Well, it's a big
We didn't go into it not knowing who he was.
Yeah.
Right. I will say though that he's being a dick, but you're like on his side about everything.
Because he is,
being unjust.
Right. I do think the tech though that he had at that point with whatever that little tablet he had, and he like took over their screens, like that was so wild even back then.
Yeah.
And even watching it now, I was like,
yeah,
no, people still can't even do that.
Right.
At least not with a see-through tablet.
Right, exactly. Where's that? I need it now.
And like just with that understanding, it's like Jarvis was in their system.
Right.
Like, so basically, he already hacked their. That's what I mean. You take it to that level, so he knows everything they know.
But even now, with some technology now, you can like shoot things to your TV or your computer or whatever from your phone, but not in the way.
But not in the Senate.
He
like,
did. He completely.
Yeah. He's like, oh, just taking control of that.
Speaking
now.
of, I love when when the dude completely insults Hammer's software.
It's hilarious.
When he's like, "This is shit," and he's like, "Oh, you're in. Oh, we don't need the codes.
Right.
Okay, never mind."
Well, yeah, just like the whole Justin Hammer character too is great because he's a bumbling idiot. And
he wants so bad
to
be Tony Stark.
Right, but he's never ever going to be.
No.
But it works. You know what I mean? Like,
first of all, look at him. He's a goober. Like,
well, that guy, the actor as well, he plays like a great type of sleaze. Yes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's just got that touch of sleazeball to him, and they casted him perfectly. Like, really.
You know, when he comes out on the stage and he's like dancing, he's basically trying to be Tony Hawk. You know, or Tony Hawk. Tony Stark.
Yeah, that's like the worst.
That part where he's dancing reminds me, and maybe I don't know if you guys have seen it or at least remember him in this. He was the bad guy in the first Charlie's Angels, and when they like show him finally as the bad guy, and he's like dancing in like his apartment with all the windows. That immediately is what I thought of was because it's him. It's still him, but he's doing the little dance and stuff.
Sam Rockwell was the bad guy in Charlie's
Angels. In the first one,
and he shoots Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore. Well, he doesn't.
Well, he doesn't.
Oh my god!
He shoots at her. But yes, they hooked up.
And he misses. Can we talk about Ben?
He completely misses. And now he's a weapons expert. Get out of here.
Right.
Well, he wasn't a weapons expert. Let's be real. He's trying to be
a weapons expert.
Right.
I do love when they show, like, when he's showing all the countries that aren't successful, and then the one with him comes up, and he's like, "Oh, look, there he is, right there."
And he's trying to like rip all the cords out. Just want to make sure everyone knows that pilot survived. Dude's fucking like back just wrecked,
twisted.
Yeah, everyone else exploded or just instantly died.
Speaking of twisted, we're drinking Twisted Teas again, like always.
And Arnie Palmies.
And Arnie Palmies.
Arnie Palmy alert.
The spikes, just because. And Tara, you got your
the Dub Deuce.
Tea in a teacup.
Yeah.
We're to watch Iron Man 2. If you have a subscription to Disney Plus, it's on there as well as everything else Marvel. What, did you forget that?
No, you're supposed
Oh,
to-
No,
you're
he's
supposed to. Yeah, you're supposed to shake them. God.
Sorry, keep going.
If you wanted to rent this movie, YouTube, Vudu, Apple TV,
There's no
Google
way that
Play,
looks good on the
and
screen.
Amazon. What?
Just to be clear.
Oh well, he's not. All right, no,
The-
this is better.
Look
Yeah.
at his arm. Yeah.
What are you doing, guy?
Oh my
What are
God.
you-
Sorry,
what are you
Steve.
doing?
I
It's fine. It's fine. If you want to buy,
I
this
saw
movie,
him
you can
over
buy
there
it.
doing it, and I was like, "There's no way you can't see his arm."
I mean, I felt it. I'm moving here.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Thanks, Randy.
You're welcome.
This is written by Justin Theroux,
I saw that.
right? Who, if you don't know who that is, he was married to who for a bit?
Were they married?
Yes.
They were officially married
For 3 years.
Jen Aniston.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
And he is in the second Charlie's Angels.
I was gonna get
That
that.
I didn't know.
Right. So
He's
he
the
also
Irish guy that
Yep.
Drew Barrymore was dating,
Oh, he's a stud.
and he is a
he's also
Especially
50
in that
years old.
movie.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, he's also written Rock of Ages, Tropic Thunder, as well as being an actor in many major movies, including American Psycho, Charlie's Angels, Full Throttle, and Wanderlust.
It's a good one too.
I do like Wanderlust.
Oh,
And
Wanderlust. He hooked up with Jen Aniston. in That
I believe
Is
that's
that
probably where they met,
That's the thing.
or
So he's on the long hair. Wow.
yeah, my man doing everything.
with the ball.
What a great movie.
It is.
My dick.
It's funny too because nobody really talks about that movie ever. But
Which is
then
crazy.
you
It's
watch it and
such-
it's like
It's
oh, this is good.
honestly though the first time I watched it, I was like, "This is so uncomfortable. Like, I feel uncomfortable just being a part of this."
But it's definitely doing it on purpose.
But
Oh,
what-
yeah.
it's the purpose of it is they're in this world, which is funny because he wants to stay,
Right.
and she didn't,
And
and then
then
in
they
the
flip it,
end,
yeah.
she's like, "No, I'm happy here. This is my new life."
Yeah.
And she
Also-
she wanted to take the deal.
Also, Paul Rudd.
Well, duh.
Yeah.
Masterpiece.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would
exactly.
I would take that deal.
Well, it's funny too. I mean, if
Especially
you're-
Paul
Ant-Man,
Rudd,
especially
Tara will
Ant-Man,
take that
Paul
dick.
Rudd.
apparently, it's
He was a stud in that movie.
it's funny. Paul Rudd hasn't aged very much, and he actually, you know what? He's getting better with age. There's some guys out there that you're like, no.
He's
I think
He's
it
getting-
was last year. He was sexiest man alive.
Yeah, I think so. Or
Or
maybe
the year before.
he
who
was.
knows? COVID, right?
He was, yeah, it was last year, or the year before, and I remember in interviews he was. A lot of his interviews were, I think, like FaceTime, like Zooms.
Oh, so it probably was then,
probably
yeah.
was during COVID, but he in the long interview that who does that? Cosmo? No, who does that?
Time.
Oh no, people.
Yeah.
Times
So
sexiest man
people
of the year.
for
Come on.
in
you
the
know that, Josh?
actual interview that in like the official one that People did, like the video interview that People did with him.
Yeah.
Through most of it, he's like, my wife laughed. Like, this is ridiculous.
It really is. But
Who
at the same
voted for
time,
me?
who else was there? You know what I mean? Like you could pick all these people, but you don't want to do the same person.
And here's the thing too: is sexy is there. It needed to be redefined for a long time.
okay, yeah, I
anyways.
agree
you know
with
what I
that.
mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's not about what
just
you look
progressive.
like. Yeah.
it's
It's not like he's a
about,
bad looking dude.
No, he's
but he has
absolutely
like the personality.
not.
He's a nice
Yes.
guy.
It's more the package.
Yeah.
now.
Exactly. It's
Right.
not all about just being
Yeah.
jacked and you know.
Right. Which though he was at the time. 'cause
Yes.
of
Well, of
Ant-Man,
course it
but-
doesn't. It doesn't hurt.
Right.
But
It
when
definitely
you
adds
when,
to
yeah,
it.
when you
No,
when
it
you're funny
doesn't.
on top of it, you know,
Exactly.
then you're really the whole package.
Did you see that video he did where he played a One Direction fan? I came across it. I saw it when he did it like a while ago. I think it was either for James Corden or Ellen or something. It was like a skit, but he was like with all the like the girls. And he's like singing with them and stuff. And he's on his phone with his wife, calls. And he's like, I just had a baby. Let's name him Harry. Wait, no, is he playful? Let's name him Niall.
It's funny.
I love
We
him. National treasure.
we did an extra real episode last week with a gentleman from the UK, Sean from the Review It Yourself podcast, and I asked him a specific
Is this going to
question.
be a James Corden? Is this going to be a James Corden
Maybe
comment?
I asked him because for whatever reason it came up, and I was like, "Well, what do you people in the UK think of James Corden?" And honestly, he's like, "Not bad. We like him."
See? I told you this.
And then he went, "But Americans probably hate him." And I was like,
I don't.
"Okay."
He's my favorite.
If
Him
you
and
say
Jimmy
so.
Fallon are my favorite,
Jimmy Fallon's a good late
like
night.
late show guys.
Okay, I'll give you that. Late night host, yes. SNL person, no.
No, Jimmy. I was not a fan of Fallon on SNL
Because he
at
just
all.
laughed at everything,
Yeah,
which sometimes
Which
is
I think
funny.
Is funny,
Yes.
yeah. 'Cause, like he broke so
Yeah.
much.
But every fucking gag, he's already laughing. And
Yeah.
you're like,
Mm-hmm.
fuck up.
Yeah, it's
Like,
almost like how did they let that slide? You know, like because they had to do it in dress rehearsal,
Right? Yeah.
But
I think they
How do you
just
think it's
probably
funny already? Still?
liked him enough, and he probably helped write stuff too. But
Well, they
I
all
think
do.
as a talk show host,
yeah,
he's like actor-wise,
great, yeah.
meh, comedian, meh. Talk show though, I think he's great with the people he has on there. Like he's not
agree.
trying too hard.
right. Yeah, he's very natural
having
with speaking to
conversations,
people.
but yes, exactly.
He did like a Saturday Night Live like skit on his show with like John Cena, and he was laughing like the entire time.
Oh,
I
it
mean,
was
it was
the,
fucking
it
hilarious.
Was
was-
it the ill one?
No.
No.
It was
No, that was funny too.
Mad Libs
That's
one,
the-
probably,
the Mad
right?
Libs one. Yeah.
That is good.
His
Yeah,
best,
that was
his best.
John
Although
Cena's so quick with that.
I know.
I think when
he's pretty
he was-
good, like
yeah.
well rounded.
when he was doing the ew ones, I don't think that was when he
Oh.
was. I don't think that's when he was Tonight Show Jimmy Fallon. I think that was when what was his show before he was Tonight Show? Just Late Night with Jimmy Fallon or
Right,
something like
yeah,
that.
Oh fucking no.
I think that's where the
Doesn't
ew
matter.
Yeah.
skits
Yeah.
Have you s-
originated. The one with Channing Tatum is by far, hands down, the best of all the
That's
ones.
the one. Is that the one where they
he
dress
did.
up as
Yeah,
the
like
girls?
in the basement.
Yeah.
Yes. And they when they do like the end of that skit where they're doing like the rapid fire, like he's holding up pictures and you have to say ew or not.
Yeah.
And Channing Tatum's just ew at everything, and then he holds up Dustin Hoffman, and Channing Tatum's like, cute. And Jimmy Fallon's like, really? And he's like, yeah, haven't you seen Kramer versus Kramer?
Karma.
It's so funny.
his
With
and
the fake braces and everything.
the braces, yeah, because he like
He's like, he's like sticking his teeth
Yeah.
out.
It is funny. I'll give him credit for those.
yeah. Him and I want to say one more thing. The Bradley Cooper. Have you seen that where they wear the visors that have the hair through it?
Oh, yeah.
And they're
yeah.
trying to nail like a 7-minute segment and they can't.
Yeah.
Because the continuity is so bad because they cannot stop laughing. Like and they're just like, we don't know what to do anymore. Like
We're
and
done here.
Yeah, they just have
I'm
to wrap
also
it.
really a fan of like him and JT's relationship.
Yeah.
I think they're hilarious together. That would be
All right, let's get back to Iron Man
Sorry, that
before
would
Tara
be-
keeps going.
that would be the only movie that I'd want to see him in is if
Jimmy
he did
Fallon
one
and Justin
with
Timberlake
JT.
as
Yeah.
bad
Like
cop, bad cop.
BFFs. Yes. Bad cop, dumb cop.
Whatever. Anyways, Iron Man 2 is directed by Jon Favreau, who also directed the first one. And if you also don't know who he is, he's also in this movie as Happy Hogan. I don't even know what he is in this movie.
He's like, he drives him and he's like, kind of like his.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
just a
he's like his
driver for
assistant,
now.
right?
I guess he's his assistant,
Yeah.
but then he ends up being
Well,
Pepper
but Pepper's
Potts'
his-
because
Yes.
he gives him the CEO.
I think
Yeah.
he's more like of his like he'd be more like his entourage and his like
Yeah.
driver because
he
he's
gets
not
him-
really his assistant, but he like helps him with his fighting and he like
Yeah. Saves him.
Yeah.
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 He's kind of like the Alfred for him.
Yeah.
yes
Good call.
kind
Because
of like
he
the
does
Alfred.
like he
at this guy.
goes
Yep.
and gets stuff for him, but he also helps
not
with
full on
fighting.
butler, but yes,
yeah.
he's like his Alfred.
And
Helps
this
him
is just the
figure
tip
everything
of their
out.
relationship, like starting to
Yep,
blossom.
yep.
So
Right, yeah.
Also, he's in Friends.
It always comes back to
as,
friends.
yeah, as a UFC fighter. All right.
Wannabe
Wannabe.
MMA.
This is starring Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, Mickey Rourke as Ivan Vanko, Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts, Don Cheadle as Rhodey, Scarlett Johansson as Natalie or Black Widow, Sam Rockwell as Justin Hammer, and Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. Nobody wants to.
I'm going to jump ahead real fast.
Yeah,
I'm going
go
to jump
for it.
ahead. I'm just going to. So when I was rewatching, and catching back up, I forgot this was the introduction of
ScarJo.
Scarlett Jo, and I was like, okay. I was like, so now that we saw what I said earlier about the movie, that's probably the best part of it.
Yes.
Is that her role becomes solidified in like the beginning of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
Yep.
the Avengers.
I did
and
like
everything else
that. I didn't like her as much like when she first came into the movie.
Right.
Because
Well, she was being-
I mean,
She was
now,
being a
She was
spy.
under her
Yes.
role. Yeah.
I mean, now obviously watching it and but like I was just like, God, this bitch just walks right in and just like, but then
It is funny, yeah. Looking at it without the context and
Yes.
seeing what they're doing. Obviously, it's done on purpose, but you don't know that when
Xander,
you're
Right.
watching it.
Calm down.
Right, and it's just like you're like, man, how does she get in there so easy? And
Yeah.
she's already like, and the way Tony Stark's kind of sexualizing her,
And she
Right.
like carries herself very
yeah,
much like.
but at the same
What?
time, she's doing
She
it on
is a
purpose.
badass.
Yeah, I mean he's a
So-
millionaire. I'm sorry,
Billionaire,
billionaire,
right,
playboy.
right.
Like who's not gonna wink at that? So
Right.
it's a great way to infiltrate, get Pepper jealous. And
Yep.
then she's like, what? She noticed it immediately. Obviously. So
And he says,
yeah.
"I want one of those." Like, it's so fucked up, but it's
It
funny
really
at the
is,
time. Yeah,
and she's like, that's a sexual harassment lawsuit.
Yeah, she's like, those are
Like, that's-
expensive.
well, foreshadowing to other things in Hollywood, possibly.
2010s, they were wild.
They were. This
Also,
is yeah.
also more actresses that look good as redheads. I'm just gonna say it. They both pulled it
I'll
off.
definitely say she could probably any color she wants. She could pull off.
I don't know. I don't think she could do like dark. I think it.
She did that in
Most of her hair
Ghost.
is
and I
dark.
didn't like it.
No? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm down with the
she's
reds.
usually no, she on a lot of her movies she was like a blonde or like a light, lighter color in most of her movies. But even Pepper's
but it doesn't
a
look good like her and Don
Randy.
John with the blonde. I don't like that.
But she was in most of the movies she's in. She's blonde.
Yeah, but I don't like. You're right. I prefer the dark. I prefer the red.
It's like she's good in the middle.
Yeah,
like not too dark, not the blonde. But yeah.
Line it up there for you.
Oh boy.
Yeah, no problem.
The best red though is probably more into the movies where it's the lighter, a little bit lighter. This was
early. Remember, things were aggressive.
Yes, it's like jumped right in.
I just remember her hair being like super dark in this movie.
Yeah.
And
It was a
watching it,
dark
I'm
red.
like, wow. I didn't remember it being red, like, but I was like, oh shit, you're right. It
and
is
like
red.
extremely curly, which it
Yeah, overly.
I feel like, is that
most
not
of the
the
time.
2010 kind of thing, though?
That's what I mean. Yeah, just to the
I
extreme.
mean, Peppers was very straight and put together, but she
But she
was
was a
supposed to be
businesswoman,
very
yeah.
put together.
Anyways, this is rated PG-13 for sequences of intense sci-fi action and violence in some language. What sci-fi action is in this?
I mean, like
drones. It's kind of scary.
That's
and,
all
A
fun.
fucking
I mean-
suit that flies.
That's
Yeah.
not sci-fi.
and like lightning arms.
I
and
guess
stuff,
when you
like,
think about it, sci-fi is science
lightning whips.
fiction.
it's things that can't be possible technically.
Yeah, weird
Technically,
Science
choice.
fiction.
I'm watching
bro.
people make Iron Man suits out of cardboard on YouTube. It's possible.
I feel like that's different.
There's also one chick on TikTok that like makes one, like 3D prints it,
Oh, that's
and
wild.
like it works and shit.
Mechanically, like wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
God.
don't,
That
I don't,
is-
so I don't know if it's 3D printed, but it's like
Probably
I
something.
think it's like
yeah.
the actual a real suit,
Right.
kind of, and it actually like things move. Her helmet opens up and all this
That's
stuff.
dope.
That's
That is
fucking
one
sick.
thing I will say about Iron Man. Like I know I said I wasn't a fan. The engineering aspect of it is fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like if that was really like that could be sooner versus later. You know what
agree,
I mean?
yeah.
Well,
I would love
because when you break it down, you look at it, you're like, well, I mean, it is doable.
I
It's
don't
all.
know if I would.
It's
So, the
way they-
robot
yeah.
thing terrifies the shit out of me.
Yeah,
like as soon as they
we're
built them
already
and
getting
they
too
were
close to it
yeah.
for me, to be
As
honest.
soon as they said the word drones and you put drones with guns, that's the next thing you do, right?
yeah.
I think that's the
Fuck
first
yeah.
thing you even do to make sure it
And then
works.
what did he do? Hacked him
Yeah,
immediately
exactly.
and
Yeah.
started attacking people.
Exactly. Okay. Like
Well, you've seen those robot dogs that are out there.
yes, you can't get them down and shit.
They just put like M16s on them now, and they're
This is
just going
fun.
around with AI shooting at certain things, and it's we're
This is
here.
exciting.
We're here. I do want to say something though that made me think about what happens later in the MCU. There's nobody trying to make suits anymore after this movie, and is it because we're done with storytelling about suits because okay, we make another Iron Man movie, and of course it's about making more suits, and nobody wants to see that, or is it that like just storytelling wise, like okay, fuck it, nobody wants to make suits anymore. You get what I'm saying? Like
Well, I think it just makes the hard right into extraterrestrial.
I think okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
It just it's just because now we got the blending of the world, realms and worlds and everything.
Yeah,
and I
that
think it
makes
just
sense.
kind of goes more. The human threat is kind of removed.
Yeah, I
Right,
think it
okay.
wasn't necessary.
Yeah,
anymore.
exactly.
Yeah,
Even
well-
though he hasn't manufactured world peace. by
Right.
any means. But
Well, I'm just saying because they're showing that the in the intro that Randy was talking about with all the different countries trying to make the suits.
Yeah.
Like, did they just give up? Like,
Yeah,
I don't think they would have. Like, China would not give up even if aliens come down.
No, if they
Yeah.
they had to have though, at least in the movie, obviously because we're talking about the movie right now.
but also,
because
would you
if-
ever see the video of it running?
It's very true. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. But I
It would
mean,
not
No,
come
it would
out.
just show up one
Right.
day.
but if they did keep going, probably would have nailed it at least by
You would
now
think-
in the MCU.
I mean,
Not-
of
not
all
to
of
be-
the, of all of the
Not to be
races.
racist at all, but I would think out of all the countries they showed, China would have
China would've gotten it
first.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah, I would say. Touching on the first thing you said, China or India.
Okay. All right. All right.
just
There's
just
some
based
bright
off of the
lines.
engineer.
Yeah,
Like
there's
yeah,
some
like that's what I
bright
mean.
lines
Like,
out
Yeah.
but the thing is, I feel like that is strictly going to be government push only. Like you know what I mean. So you're not going to have a privatized person like Tony Stark.
Sure. Yeah.
In that world,
Yeah.
That-
He would
like,
be the only person to do it.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think they
he's-
do set that up.
because he's not only is he the billionaire, but he's got the mind. You know, it's not like some
There's no big team. working
exactly.
on
It's not
it,
like
yeah.
someone just has oil money or something like that. And he can just like, oh, build it.
Right,
you know
right.
what I mean?
It's just
Like,
one dude doing. Hey,
exactly
because
because he doesn't trust anyone else.
Yeah,
you know,
touche,
so and it's wild that even he can figure that out.
Right.
But yeah, nonetheless.
Yeah. One other thing that did bug me is when Rhodey steals the suit. He's in, Tony Stark's thing. He can put it on there. How does he get it off when he goes to Justin Hammer's thing?
Yeah.
Because they show in the beginning of the movie when Tony Stark comes into the expo, there's one of those machines there that takes off the
it off.
suit. And it looks pretty fucking hard to take off. So like Rhodey flies in, and then like the next scene, it's off, and they're staring at it completed.
I think you found a hole there.
I think I did.
Yeah. I mean, because it clearly wasn't like his suitcase suit.
No,
which
it was literally
that wasn't a thing yet.
Because
the suit is actually in the first movie when Rhodey, who's not what's his face?
No, it was Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard looks at it before he
time.
leaves. Yeah, he says maybe next time, and it's that suit where it's just all metal.
Mm-hmm.
So he grabs that suit in this movie.
Steve, they're all metal.
No paint. It looks all metal. Thanks, Tara.
Tara.
So when he grabs it, okay, cool. He's at Tony Stark's place. It can be put on because the machine to take it off and put it on is there. But the minute he flies to the Air Force or wherever he goes, what do they just using screwdrivers to take that motherfucker off? And then they put it back together in one piece? No.
I did see something else because I didn't really pay attention to it, but they basically Tony Stark let him fly away because he could shut him down with Jarvis. He could do really whatever he wanted to.
Well, they say that to him. That he's like,
okay, cool.
Really? You said no one else could do this, and yet this guy walked right in and walked right out.
Right, and
that's one of those things where he does get humbled, where he's like, just let him have it, because he knows, because obviously
he knows where he's at.
Yeah, at that party
mentally.
when he gets there you go. Yeah, when he gets all hammered and everything, it's like this is not.
Well, and in his mind, he's dying too.
Right.
So he's like, well, if somebody's gonna take.
Oh yeah, I wanted to touch on that.
Go for it.
Yeah. So the original thing is what is giving him blood? It's poisoning his blood. It's
poisoning
essentially,
him,
right?
Well, no. So basically, what it is, he needs that in his chest, so all the debris,
the shrapnel,
is pushed away from his heart. Okay. So the magnet is literally just keeping it where it is, so it doesn't go through his bloodstream.
Right.
But the problem is the arc reactor,
actual thing,
is being run on this element called palladium.
Yes.
And that is what's also polluting his blood and killing him.
Okay.
So like when he takes them out and it's like burnt and stuff, it's literally that's in his body.
Right.
Makes sense.
So Jarvis even says it. The thing that's keeping you alive is also killing you.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is fucking wild and deep when you want to break it down and look at it. And the movie, I mean, it does go through it and talk about it, but it doesn't really get super deep into that.
Right, because it just like shows him checking it all the time, and he's like just checking his blood toxicity, and it's like.
But also, it seems to happen really fast. But it was 6 months after he confessed to being Iron Man. So, like, why?
I think it's if he's using the suit, it's accelerating because it's using more power.
But so, what did he not use it for 6 months? Do you know? Do you know what I mean?
Like, I think it's the more he's realizing he has to use the suit, he's using it more and doing all this shit. And again, maybe we're finding another plot hole.
Because it was at the beginning when he first checked it was like 24%.
And then it was like 12 or something.
No,
the first time
it was like
at the expo.
Yeah.
No. Sorry, when he's in his lab and he's actually changing it.
Oh, okay.
And he checks it was like 24%. And then the only next time they show him change it, it's like 70 something, and it's like jumped up.
No, so he checks it at the expo, and it's 19.
I'm talking about after that.
God damn.
When he's in his lab and he actually changes it. When he pulls out the cigar
box. It's like
box,
25 or something at that point.
Yeah.
And then there's one, I believe, I remember seeing 65 or 75 or something
it
later.
Jumps, yeah.
But again, he's using the Iron Man suit a lot, so.
Yeah, and fighting
which I get, but that's what I'm saying. So then did he not use it a lot for the whole 6 months from when the first movie?
Maybe, who knows? He's been
just hanging out.
Yeah,
right.
Because it says 6 months later.
Well, think about it. So
like
when he revealed that, I'm sure it started killing him day one.
And it only took it to 19% over 6 months. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, maybe. Well,
Did he not use it?
Well, it's just like anything else. It probably starts super slow, and then once it's poisoned, the poison,
it's just seeping through.
Yeah. Plot holes. We're just breaking.
This movie's
breaking this
terrible.
down.
Yeah.
Breaking Marvel.
This movie's terrible.
I'm gonna write John Favreau an email. This is crazy.
Well, I do have some notes in my fun facts later about why
Justin wrote
possibly
it,
this movie's. He co-wrote it with John Favreau, but whatever. Semantics.
That's not what you said.
Well, I was going to get to that later in my fun facts, but we're not there. Anyways, runtime on Iron Man 2 is 125 minutes. I mean, it is what it is for a Marvel movie. They all have to be kind of old. So it is what it is. Released May 7th, 2010. A little older than I thought it was. I was thinking like 2012, but
then when you think about how many movies have come out,
yeah, who even keep? That's where
there's so many.
There is a lot, and kudos to them. I mean, they're churning them out. They're making their money.
And there's not one off the top of my head that's like real bad.
Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel. Sorry, Captain Marvel.
I didn't think it was that bad.
It's not that bad.
Captain Marvel to me is a movie that I watched once, and I will not watch again unless somebody forces me to do it.
That's how I am.
Coming up.
That's how I am with Ant-Man. I hate to say it. I love Paul Rudd.
I loved Ant-Man.
The first Ant-Man, all right. The second Ant-Man, I'm with you.
I think Ant-Man was... Ant-Man's kind of a different vibe.
The second Ant-Man,
I get how
think,
important what everything they do is with the PIM particles and all. Like,
well,
but
you
just
need it.
Yeah,
like you need that for other. The second one I feel like was too much, but they're gonna make a third too. I think.
Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah. So
Ant-Man and the Wasp was not a go for me.
But the first one, Carrick's favorite character in the first one is that guy,
the Mexican guy,
Michael Perez or whatever.
Oh,
where every time he summarizes things or telling stories, and he's just like,
So another guy, and there's the other guy. Yeah,
he's funny.
It's quick.
Yeah.
I liked the first one. I get what you're saying. If there's a weak link, I guess
I mean, there's gotta be
maybe
something.
those, but it's a guy that shrinks. Like, what do you want from it?
There's one other movie
I don't know if you watched
came
The
out
Boys.
recently.
You got a good thing.
Oh, that was different.
Yeah, that's a little different. No, the other only once I'm gonna watch Marvel movie, The Eternals, that came out last year.
See, I haven't seen that.
That wasn't bad.
I haven't seen that one.
It's not good.
I haven't
It's not
seen
that
it.
good. Yeah, it wasn't bad, but it's also not good.
It was one of those movies you watch it, and the minute you're done, gone.
There
Never
are
again.
still a couple that I haven't watched though, and they've mainly just been the ones that came out like in the last two, like pandemic ones that came out.
So you
I
probably
wasn't
haven't
really
seen Black Widow. Then you probably
no,
haven't
and I
seen-
wanted it, but
Black Widow's actually better than
We've-
people say it is.
we've watched.
Some stupid stuff, but enjoyable.
Oh my
You're
god,
almost there.
the show.
What?
Loki,
Nope, didn't watch that one.
WandaVision.
WandaVision.
No, I
Shang-Chi
still want to
announced
watch
it.
it.
You need
I
to
haven't
watch
it.
WandaVision.
See, that's my problem. Is
WandaVision
there's
is
wanna
you
watch it.
overwhelm me.
fantastic.
Like I'm a low key fan.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm
Hawkeye.
sorry, not low key,
Hawkeye.
but like low key.
Sure.
Uh,
You watch the
Loki,
movies, but
Loki?
when there's so much
yeah,
stuff,
when
it's
you
hard,
overwhelm
yeah.
someone like me, I'd rather just go and I just like.
And the hard
you know what I
part,
mean?
the hard part with this, and I get it, but at the same time, they need to make it so it's like I don't need to watch everything to understand what's
Correct.
happening.
Yeah.
And there are some parts of these shows, like especially Loki, where if you don't watch it, you're not going to know what the fuck's going on in any movie that's
Right.
coming out, or even WandaVision.
Well, yeah,
If
we
you haven't
saw
seen,
Doctor Strange. We saw the new Doctor Strange.
so you were
and
probably fucking clueless.
I was like, I mean, I put it together, but I
'cause
was
you
That's
like,
probably not, because there's a
Probably
lot
not.
that
There's
goes
a
on.
lot.
You have to see
Jesus.
Spider-Man multiverse to understand Doctor Strange, right? And this is what happens.
Kind
You're lost.
of.
I don't know that you
Because I'm not a
needed to.
Spider-Man
A
fan
little
either.
bit. What?
Yeah, see,
I'm a,
All right, I don't agree with that. Spider-Man's my jam, but that's because I grew up in the '90s with the '90s Spider-Man TV
Yeah.
show,
right.
and that
See, I was more of an X-Men back. See, that was my
Okay,
X-Men
all right.
Saturday morning cartoon. Spider-Man wasn't my jam.
I wasn't a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man fan. I wasn't a Tobey
Me
Maguire
neither.
Spider-Man.
But I liked the movie, but I didn't like Tobey Maguire.
and I was a
It's his
little
fucking
bit,
mouth.
and I was a little bit more. What's his face?
Am I not wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Oh my god, why am I
Thank you.
blanking on his name? Andrew
Holland,
Garfield.
or Andrew
No,
Garfield,
I was a
yeah.
little bit more
I-
into the Andrew Garfield. I love Tom Holland Spider-Man. I think he's a good, like just him as a person, because he seemed the right age more than like how they
He
did
seemed
it
the
from
most
from
like
the
youngest.
Yeah, he seemed the most
But
like
Tobey Maguire was
Spider-Man.
old, young when he was.
No. I meant personality, like the way he act, like his character seemed the more fitting for Spider-Man.
Right.
Tobey Maguire to me was kind of bland, and Spider-Man to me is not bland.
I would say Tom Holland. He was good animated. Like,
Yes, he's
his
very,
character,
like-
like he was just into it. The role I think was good for him.
Yes, that's what I'm
But
saying,
my
yeah.
thing with Spider-Man, you got now that there's the multiverse, it's like, does the kid ever graduate high school? Like, what's next?
he just
Like, is he
always-
always
yeah.
jumping out of the bus window?
Well, yeah.
Never attending class.
Yeah, just
like
never.
I get people
you have
were
a calc
excited
test?
about all the
Probably not.
Spider-Man
you a
like
co-op?
being in the movie, but I was like, this is a lot.
Right.
I'm trying to follow it.
gotta tell me.
You know that's really not true, right?
That they can lie.
Oh
just watching.
shit!
I think he just shattered my whole fucking realm. They can lie.
I will say this. So my favorite Spider-Man is the second one, Andrew Garfield. And he just he to me is just Spider-Man, because watching, like I said, the '94 cartoon, he was making jokes, quips, doing stuff all the time. Yeah, Tom Holland does it, but he's not as funny as Andrew Garfield was. Like, I feel like he's just a better Spider-Man. Now, those movies aren't as good as the first one. So it's weird. To me, I think the first 3 Spider-Man movies are better than anything that's come out, but I hate Tobey Maguire.
I think it's because it
Yeah,
wasn't
it
it wasn't the MCU yet.
Which is fine.
It was mainly just Spider-Man.
Maybe,
So-
maybe
Yeah.
that's it
Not
for
like
me.
Spider-Man
Yeah.
in the
Maybe that's it.
Marvel
Tom
universe.
Holland, my favorite Spider-Man, but Emma Stone, my favorite MJ.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say it's Emma Stone. How do you?
She's my MJ.
But then again, when
Not anything against
Zendaya
Zendaya.
wasn't bad.
Zendaya
I thought it
was.
Zendaya.
I'm pretty sure it's Zendaya.
I don't fucking know. It's a weird looking
I
name.
could be wrong too, but
I'm going Zendaya.
and I don't dislike her. It just, I think I think her as MJ got better as the movies progressed.
Yeah.
But again, she felt a little rough to me too, in comparison to like Emma Stone as MJ. I think I wanted more from her.
From Zendaya?
Yeah.
Zendaya?
Well, at least her as MJ. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they wrote. I mean, she can only do as much as they want her to do, I guess. But
I mean, I think for me, it was still enough to have like a little tear jerk in the new Spider-Man. A little bit.
You mean like her when she's falling and almost dying?
No, not that when spoilers if you haven't seen it. When he has to go
Say
back.
goodbye.
He goes back and pretends
she doesn't
nothing
know
ever
him.
happened. Yeah.
I don't know what's going
You never seen
you
it?
saw it.
on. Not Zendaya.
So you haven't seen
haven't seen
any
the
of the
new
new
one?
You haven't seen any of the new
Spider-Mans?
ones?
Josh,
Oh, they're worth watching.
what are you doing?
I don't know. I feel bad right now. I'm just going to be quiet because I can't input.
That's
my
usually me.
God.
No,
That's usually me.
So I will say they're worth watching, especially
Yeah.
the first one. Keaton, Michael Keaton in that movie
Yeah.
rules.
Yeah.
Is that the one? Who's the bad guy in that one?
Michael Keaton.
Michael
Yeah, but what
Keaton.
is his character?
Some bird thing.
Why
Which
am
is
I-
funny because he played Birdman too, but it
Right.
was like a bird
Why
thing.
am I fucking forgetting his name?
Falcon?
No. Fucking. I can
That's
see.
a good guy.
I can see the old school version of it. Anyways, in the comics, he's like an old guy who has to like suck people's powers out to become young, and then he can like fly around as the whatever it is.
Right.
It's some bird thing.
Ah, yeah, it is. Why am I fucking blanking on it? Oh, this is pissing me
He
off.
doesn't.
It's all good.
In the movie, he doesn't do that, does he?
He has a bird thing.
I know that. But he was saying
He does
sucking
the-
powers.
No,
out of
he doesn't.
fucking-
Not
yeah.
in the.
No,
yeah,
no,
I didn't
yeah,
think
the
so.
power thing.
Yeah. I was like, I knew I
But I
watched this
did. We're
fucking
in the
movie.
theater watching
I
it,
know,
and I leaned into Carrick and I was like, "It's because he's Birdman." Because he does play Birdman,
Which makes
too.
sense, and it's kind of cool.
Which another weird movie.
Very
Birdman.
weird, which is almost Batman-esque. You know what
It
I mean?
is,
Like
but the
it's
movie
playing on it.
itself was very weird.
Yeah.
Because
he
you're
play
like,
Steve?
what is this? Is
not
he
saying
Birdman? Are we crazy with him? Like,
Why don't you just go into Google?
I don't know. You go into Google.
Randall,
I
you're
will go
supposed to
into
look
Google.
up stuff for him. He's
Yeah,
the
I
host.
know.
I'm
He's supposed to be
doing-
hosting.
He's got a lot going
Sitting
on.
over
I
here
here.
got. I
fucking
do.
phone.
Anyway, so this movie was filmed April 6, 2009 through July 18th, 2009. Then came back in January of 2010 for reshoots.
Oh,
It was also filmed in California, New York, England, and Monaco.
Wow.
Yeah.
Adrian
they actually
Toomes.
did film that in Monaco.
Yeah.
So, does it say what they reshot?
No, it didn't say. I'm assuming
Just
We'll
like
get-
fixes.
we'll
just
get
like-
to some stuff later about why things happened and why Jon Favreau didn't ever come back to
Vulture.
Vulture, motherfucker.
see a bird.
Fuck me.
Falcon. You were close.
Yeah.
I know.
No, he
Had a bird name.
wasn't.
A less cool bird.
Less cool.
Vulture. He could have been the Falcon.
Also-
But that sounds more heroic.
Because
Yeah.
there
The
is
vulture.
a falcon. Is there not a falcon?
Well, also
Mr. Falcon, right?
Falcon and Winter Soldier is
Yeah, Terrence Howard. Not Terrence
no,
Howard.
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's a good guy.
Anyways, Vulture plays off of what I said, which is he takes people's life force from them.
'Cause
What do
he-
vultures do, right?
they eat
just
dead
eat
things.
dead things and
Scavenge.
Scavengers.
Yeah. So that makes sense. Yeah.
Tracking.
Anyways, one thing I do want to say, another plot hole maybe, is in this movie when they're in Monaco and he decides to just like, you know what, I'm gonna race the car.
Right.
Yeah.
What was the bad guy's game plan at that point?
Yeah, just come slash the cars.
Yes,
but-
he hoped that he was gonna start racing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if he never goes down and races, what's his game plan there?
Or was maybe just more of a flex of this is what I can do.
Yeah, maybe
'Cause
he
he
wasn't
knew-
planning
maybe he
on
knew
it.
he was
Iron
gonna
Man
be
would
there.
show up.
Right,
Right,
he knew
yeah.
he was
He knew
there.
it would be
but-
there. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he just was like, "Well, I'm gonna show up on the track and
Yeah,
cause
but he
some
was
ruckus.
And then
a
Iron Man
track
show up.
And then he
fucking
was there.
official walking around. Okay, maybe you can use that as I'm just there doing that too, and maybe I'll run into him at some point.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel like his plan, whiplash. That's what I was looking
Whiplash.
for. I feel like his plan just goes away if he doesn't get in that car.
Right.
You know. Also, another thing, all those cars have radios. So the minute that dude walked on the track,
Was it no
they
one
would have
else
all
like,
stopped.
hello? I don't like-
Right. But
There's
then you
a
don't.
dude with lightning for arms on the
Right.
train.
Maybe we
man,
should stop. And turn
Stop
around.
the $2 million car, please.
Right.
And-
But then you
not
don't.
have
We
to
don't have
rebuild this.
insurance
Right.
that will cover lightning arms.
You don't get the cool fucking shot though of him walking away where the cars are destroying themselves
Yeah.
into each other and blowing up behind him. Which what happens if one of those cars fell on Whiplash? Like
he would
He would have
slash
just
it.
slashed
His
it. It
slashy
would've
senses. He
flown
would.
past him.
all right, all right.
Though funny, the whiplash.
Clearly, you've never played
the,
with those
With
arms.
the cars.
I haven't. No.
He's-
My
with
neck.
the whiplash. Yeah.
Also, I did of course, me being me with the car thing. When he started slashing in the middle, I was like, "They're legs."
Yeah.
It's the, it's the first thing I said.
The first
They're all there
car-
like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, the first car gets slashed further back
Yeah.
than Tony's
Yeah.
does, and I'm like, that dude's dead.
He might be dead. Yeah.
Also, if he's slashing that clean through cars, now again, I'm getting a little deep here. Wouldn't it just be slashing through
Right.
the concrete
Look.
too and everything?
Yeah.
I thought, although I will say, 'cause
Or does he
that-
does he de-energize as soon as he gets through?
But like when he's walking towards Tony and he's whipping at the the ground
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the road. I don't know why that's something I really paid attention to this time. They did a really good job of like the marks showing up.
It did show on the ground,
Like,
yeah.
They
And
were like perfect.
Yeah, I remember this was one of the first
And I
movies.
know like that's what they do. That's their job. But like I
That'd
was,
be fucking sick as a job.
it would be right. Well,
Just
not
like
with
this right
Marvel
here.
though, because you
Oh my god.
don't
Yeah.
get paid very well, and you're under the gun, and it's
Which is
you're
crazy.
working like 80 fucking.
I was gonna
hours
say
a week,
post
yeah.
ops probably.
Yeah,
Or post production. It's probably crazy.
that was actually something I wanted to get into as a kid. Was like working on like Toy Story CGI movies and stuff like that.
They should have stood
So-
for my company. They got me doing stupid shit,
I mean,
videos and stuff.
I'll do it.
I know
pay
how to
me.
do some of it, and they're like, "Can you do this?" I'm like, "Man, probably not, but let's do it."
Come over here. We'll,
do
we'll
it
sit
anyways.
down. We'll
We'll
sit
figure
down
it
and we'll
out.
try and do stuff,
Yeah.
Randall. I don't care. But no, what I was now I
don't know
completely
either, man. It's my
completely
bad.
off now. Thanks, Randall. I had a good thing lined up.
You wanted a Toy Story as a child?
No, it was
You
before that.
wanted, you wanted the Woody as a child?
No, I mean who
Sounds a
doesn't?
little, that sounds a little weird.
well, we were talking about him on the
Whipped-
track.
Oh, I remember seeing it
There we go.
in the theaters, and during that whipping part where he's like walking up to him, I just remember looking around, like, man, this sounds amazing. Like I
Right.
feel
the
it.
actual like
Right. And watching it back again, Saturday, I think I watched it. I fucking turned it up at home
to
for it.
hear that.
And I was like, yeah,
That's the stuff.
Your TV is always turned up,
shut the fuck up.
loud as fuck.
Yeah, because I want to feel it.
I'm not mad about it.
Okay.
I love that stuff. but it
Also,
is very
though,
loud.
also when you're sitting and watching a movie, you're literally in the subwoofer in my
Me
upstairs. Yeah,
in
my upstairs.
in my upstairs.
Well, upstairs.
I almost said my basement, but we're
We all
we're
wore-
in the basement
We all
now.
wore hats today.
We did. We're matching, and they're all black. Look at the black hat.
How do we all have black shirts on?
Look, keeping things
This
simple.
is
was
weird.
planned.
This is weird. It's funny though. Every time we play in the show, we'll show up in literally the same outfit.
I mean, mine's the only
Except
one that's
Sean.
like relevant.
Well, I only own black T-shirts.
Me too.
So
Yeah.
every time, like Laura's like, "Can you wear something else?" I'm like, "A different black shirt."
You want a
A
plain
black shirt
one?
with with color on
yeah.
it.
Well,
like,
it's usually they're a band name and it's white, so I don't know what else to do.
because like this is a black shirt, but there's still a lot of color on
right,
it.
yeah, it's black.
the minute I wear a white shirt, that's the only time I wear it.
Every time I eat lasagna or something, I'm wearing a white shirt.
Just
no matter
happens to
what,
be.
I'll
Just
fuck
happens to
everyone
be.
up. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to wear white.
White,
anymore.
white shirts home lasagna
I'm not
day.
doing it anymore.
My wife has this problem where whenever she eats, it's just on her. So I've come up with this idea. It's called the body bib. Okay, so it's not just a bib. No, it's a body bib.
Are
I mean,
you-
it's everything.
Is it like?
How
are
I
you-
Met Your Mother when
Are you
he's doing
off
the
of bro bibs? Are
pretty
you
much
jumping off
right.
of bro bibs?
But no one's invented it. So I keep telling her because every time we go out somewhere to eat, just god damn it, we should have brought a fucking body bib and they
It's
just
the
whip it out.
It's the
And the-
magnificent tatas. They're just like
It must be what it is. They just want food too.
they're in there.
But there's nothing worse than just one dot.
And that's what
Like, I'm
happens.
like,
too.
My
I
dad-
know
Every
it's there,
time.
and I
Yeah.
want to die.
My
Right.
dad is infamous for that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when you're a dad, 110% acceptable.
It's all
if
the
you
time,
don't have
though.
something,
Yeah.
I'm not trusting you if you don't have a stain on your shirt as a
If
dad.
you're not wearing New Balances,
Yeah.
the fucking these pants right here, and a little bit of
yeah, something. Sweat,
Footage, anything,
grease,
yeah.
mustard,
I ain't.
you know?
What were you doing today? God.
Wow,
If you don't have something on you.
exactly.
I don't trust a
You
word
were
that's
not
coming out of your
So you
mouth.
took a nap all day is what you told me.
Right.
Cool.
If you're not a dad coming home and falling asleep at 6 o'clock for no reason, you're not a dad.
After talking about how hard you worked.
Exactly. And then a plate of food just lands on your...
4 o'clock in the morning.
Look, I get it. I couldn't imagine walking in this heat and having to deal with a child right now, especially one like myself. He was like, "Hey, Dad, what do you want to do?" He's like, "Just leave me the fuck alone."
My dad, it's true. My dad, he'll be up all day, and he'll get home and he'll get some stuff done, and then he's on that couch and he's falling asleep to whatever he's watching.
Working?
Yeah, well, for like another year and a half.
All right.
Yeah.
How old
he's
is
getting there. He is
63.
No, he's 65.
Oh, good for him.
Tomorrow's his birthday.
Oh, nice.
Happy birthday.
Ray. Happy birthday to Ray.
Tomorrow's Ray's birthday.
Look at that. Speaking of...
I think let me do the math in my head. Yeah, no, he's turning 65.
What year was
So
he born?
tomorrow's 65. 57.
Oh, my mom was born in 56.
57, and my mom was 60.
No, sorry, my dad was born in 56. My mom was 61.
No. So same, no.
Same, but different.
Same. A little bit different, a little bit the same.
Anyways, budget time on Iron Man 2. What do we think the movie cost to make? We're going to Randall first because he picked it.
Like a lot.
71 million.
71 million. Okay, Tara.
I think that's fucking low as shit.
Yeah, it probably is,
lie.
honestly. I've been
I'm not gonna lie.
Sucking at
I'm
these
gonna
lately.
say like no.
No.
I'm gonna go close to 2.
What's close?
Wait, 195.
195.
I don't want to go 2 even because that seems like.
Man, I think 2 was the number. 200.
200?
Damn it, that's
200?
not fair.
Yeah, well, look, I put this. Look, you went 195, I went 0. You know what?
That's not fair. I said it. I
You
want it
chose
on
your
the
number.
record that
Nobody
I
told
said
you to
it
pick
first.
195.
2's the number. I feel like it's a good number.
I feel like I'm very low now, and I don't like it.
Then again, I have
super
no
low.
idea. I have
Well,
no
you
idea how to
can't-
guess this.
Marvel, you're so low.
Yeah, it's just the CGI alone. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Send it. What do we got?
Overall, 200 million. Look at this
Actually?
guy coming in. Yep.
Don't put your hand up like
Sorry.
that was
Well,
your
look.
idea.
Look, you should have stuck with it.
You should have stuck. Yeah, you're
Because
right.
me and you all last time were like we were on the same page, and I was like, yeah,
I was so close.
I was thinking 9 bills immediately. Like, there's no way it's under 100
Oh, no.
million.
A
Like,
Marvel
Oh, no,
production.
yeah.
What movie that Marvel has made in the last 15 years that isn't 150 million plus?
I don't
you
know,
figure,
Randall.
What,
Are
what
there
did
any?
Tony
I don't
Stark
know.
or Tony Stark? What did Robert Downey Jr. make on that? Like 25, 50 million alone
Well,
up
so
front?
maybe not this movie. So the first movie he made shit, right?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
he
That
was
didn't-
coming off whatever. But this movie, I'm pretty sure he made a lot. Not probably as much as you think he made.
Not that much.
But 3 and up definitely.
What
he
was
made
what was
bank.
the first one
What did he make?
Of what?
of the
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, was
is,
it Iron Man?
Iron
no,
Man.
it's actually Incredible. Well, okay, no. So it is Iron Man 1, then Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, so
but-
his was also the first.
Essentially, yeah.
Still kind of getting in there.
It isn't the first Marvel movie,
Right.
but it is the
Of
first in the MCU.
Yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah.
Iron Man, and then,
Yep.
like I said, Incredible Hulk. But they just kind of went, it's not canon anymore.
Bye.
Even though it is canon because the Colonel is in Civil War from that movie. Abomination is in Shang-Chi and is going to be in the new She-Hulk TV series. So you have 2
How
characters.
are we feeling about that? How are we feeling about She-Hulk?
I'm gonna enjoy
I just
it.
watched the trailer again yesterday.
I'm gonna enjoy it.
haven't
I think
watched
it's
it
gonna be good.
Who is
Trailer.
it?
Who is She-Hulk?
I don't think
have
she's
you ever
well
seen-
known, is she?
She was in Orphan Black, this TV show that was like UK. She was really good in that. She's been in a couple other like.
She's not like
Smaller.
big. It's not like
Right.
big name.
She's not a big name, whatever, but
But
it is.
he's in it.
Yeah, it's fully CG almost the entire
really?
time, and a lot of people are complaining about. Oh fuck! I didn't shake mine up. Randall, keep shaking. There it is. Keep
Look,
shaking.
okay.
Maybe you can shake his when you're done.
Yeah, but the next one. A lot of people are complaining about the CG looking a little bad, but that's YouTube. What they do is they downgrade everything
Yeah.
that they get, and so it looks like shit. So all the like, super high res like textures they're using, you're just not seeing. So it's all just kind of
Well, I've also seen a lot of people complaining like, oh, she's a woman, so they have to make her so much stronger than him. And I feel like they didn't really understand what
She-Hulk has always been.
She-Hulk
that way.
was.
There's a lot of people that come out and they make claims or they talk about things like, oh, why would you do this? Why would you do that? Have you read the comics
Yeah,
that have been around
exactly.
since the 70s? Like,
I can't sit like this anymore.
you sit however you want to sit.
That's I didn't know that. I'm learning.
There you go.
Yeah,
Good
I
for
wasn't
you,
I wasn't that. I was the like I said. I was the X-Men guy.
I got you.
I was X-Men's and GI Joes, bro.
Nothing wrong with that though.
Yeah, like
Nothing
that
wrong
was,
with X-Men.
Yeah, yeah. It's just I really didn't get into that stuff till later, like
got
in
you.
life, and I just never really sunk
no
into
problem.
it. But
It's funny,
So
too.
she's stronger. Her character is
Well,
stronger.
she was
than the
made
Hulk.
differently too.
So I'm not quite sure what they're gonna do with the TV show because
Mm-hmm.
all they've shown in the trailers is just she's already She-Hulk,
Oh,
and
okay.
they're
Like,
like,
she already kind of knows
exists.
how to
Well, it's basically her and Bruce
so
Banner.
she can control her the way he does before, where she doesn't like lose control.
It seems like it from the trailers.
It shows it that way, but he's also like kind of training her. Too.
Yeah. So we don't. Who knows how
she got the trailer?
You do too. Yeah, there's been
like
3
for
trailers.
example, there's a part like he throws a rock on the beach, and her first one is further than his. Yeah. Like it's just like some like things like that.
They're both as
it's like the young strength when you're new.
Exactly.
Did she get doused with the gamma? Like,
see, so in the comics,
it's
it's
something with a blood
doused with the gamma.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do it with the movie, but wasn't it like
radiation?
Like something with blood transfusion,
something like that.
It?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I'm not quite sure what they're gonna do with the actual TV show because again, it seems like they're glossing over it a little bit. I wonder if that's what they're gonna
just to get it in there.
I think they're gonna do hey, we're gonna start and she's already She-Hulk, and then we're gonna fill in the story.
Flashbacks.
Yeah, exactly. And during the training montage, like you learn a little bit more and whatnot. So I mean, I'm here for it. I'm gonna like it.
Her feet are on the couch, by the way. I'm just kidding.
It was before.
Disgusting.
It was before. You just couldn't see because he's facing
that way.
this
Now
way.
it's this
Now
way.
it's right at you.
All right. So what do we think this movie made?
So much
box office overall. Randall.
Randall's gonna say 70 million again.
Can I ask, Randall, before you go, let's get a little more information. Release date was in May?
Was May 7th.
May. Okay.
2010.
So, no holidays.
No.
You know those July those July 4th, boomers.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
And Memorial Day is too late in May for it to have affected it.
Right. Why wouldn't
box
they have?
Office.
Yeah, whatever.
So that's overall. Right.
Overall, what it made
That's what box office
worldwide.
means.
Worldwide, and they spent $200.
Yeah, not 71 or whatever.
Not 71. They had to have at least made over it. I'm gonna go. I'd hope at least because they keep going.
Nope, they lost their ass.
Look,
Pretty sure Iron Man didn't flop.
I was gonna say I'm gonna help you out a little bit, Randall.
Thank you.
The first movie was so big that they made a second movie.
Oh no shit!
And a
Yeah,
There's a second
and a
one?
third. And he's in
No,
like
that
17
doesn't-
other movies.
Yeah, he's just in all. I mean, they just
I'm
kept
gonna say
using him.
381.
Oh man, that got me.
Sorry,
381.
381.
Yes.
All right,
That's so
Tara.
specific.
Tara, what do you think? This is a
There's
specific number
only
too.
certain numbers you can pick out of all the numbers.
All of
It's
the
just you
numbers.
just
Everything
gotta
is
be
gonna be
close. Why
specific.
do you need to be specific?
Out of 381 million numbers,
You can't
those
just say
ones he picked.
because you can't just say like 380 and expect to be like 387. Yep, I got it right. You gotta pick a number, Tara.
When have we done that? Okay.
We're doing it
You
now.
have.
apparently.
You have done this.
This is a very specific number, I will say.
Is it? Oh shit. Okay. Well, now I want to be specific. I was gonna say 6. I was gonna say 6.
I mean, you can say 6 if you want.
No, now I want to be more
All right.
specific.
600.
Yes, Randall.
We'll say that.
Randall.
We already know that I'm better at this than you. We've realized
Clearly,
it over the last
there's a
couple
lot
weeks.
of evidence that goes towards that. Evidence.
What are you, Steve?
Evidence.
What did you hit with the gamers?
I'm gonna say, okay. I have to be specific. I'm gonna say
Got hit with the gamma ray.
6. 27.
It's a good number.
627. All right, 627 on the board.
627.
I'm shooting. I'm gonna go a little higher.
All right,
824.
824.
Ooh, 8.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm going up
That's
there.
a big one.
Yeah, I'm going up
Jumped.
there.
Yeah.
Worldwide, he said.
No, you're right. You're right. All right, so opening weekend,
Opening weekend.
it
Just-
made $128 million.
Fuck me.
just
Opening
one
weekend.
Sideways.
weekend.
Running.
I know. Overall, though,
Yeah.
not high as Josh wanted.
Oh.
A little under where Tara's at, $623.9 million. So I'll give you that. You're really close.
It's not like 627, but we'll give it to
But
you.
it's
Yeah,
there.
I'll give you that. I'll give
It's
you that.
also definitely
Like
not
it.
3, whatever the fuck Randall said.
What'd you say? Hey, you know what though?
Nothing,
Good,
man.
good guess.
Nothing,
Let's be
never
real.
mind.
Over
Don't worry about it.
like 300.
Good
Normally, that's how they go.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not too much over
It's
more
okay.
than it
Hey.
costs to make.
That was, you were
Except for
half
Shrek.
right.
Except for
You were
Shrek.
half right.
I will say so. We
They made
since
double that,
you're
so-
newer here. A movie only makes money if it makes 3 times its budget.
Oh, okay.
So think about that. The $200 million.
Why is that? Because of back end and everything?
Because there's marketing, there's like all this other stuff that has to go into it, distribution, whatnot. But
Salaries.
to a movie company,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't make money unless it makes 3 times as much.
Wow.
I'm
Yeah,
not
which
new
is
here,
crazy.
and I didn't know that. So thank you for the information.
So they
Steve. I
netted
appreciate it.
23 million.
Right. When you think about it, it's
Right.
not a lot, but it still made $23 million, which kind of a lot of money. I mean,
Yeah.
Which also, that's just like, that's not always the case. Like, that's their mentality. Like, we
Right.
need to make. That doesn't mean they didn't
So
make
they made-
more than
right.
$23 million. But
made
that's
the-
in their mind.
Right.
But they
we
made the
needed to make.
23 after salaries were already paid,
After
and
everything.
marketing and everything's paid, so that all goes to like.
And they probably even made more than
Bottom
that.
line.
They
But
probably
like,
so
So where
there's
does that
a,
money go to?
in their brain, they need to make 3 times.
Who knows? But 200 million, that's a pretty fat budget, though. Are we agreeing?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
200 million
Oh,
is
yeah.
fat.
Fuck
yeah.
especially
What's-
for a second movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
Yeah.
right? And obviously Endgame and all that's way higher.
What's like
Yeah,
what's like an average comedy or something like
50?
15 to 20 probably,
Really?
like an Adam Sandler movie, 15
Right.
to 20. If
And
you're
then they
looking at
and they plan on kickbacks though, right? Like long term.
Yeah, and we talked about this. Was it last week or was it on the Extra Real episode we were talking about where Matt Damon was on an interview talking about how they can't make comedy movies anymore because they always relied on those DVD sales,
Right.
like the
Well,
unrated
Oh,
DVD
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Last week, yeah.
So now they're not getting any of that. So none of these movies that you would see, like Old School or Euro Trip or whatever, Get Them to the Greek. That's what we talked about on that. You're not seeing those movies because they're not getting that money back.
Makes
you know
sense.
what I mean? So yeah, you could have had a okay run in the box office, but shit, we get that unrated version and people are buying it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, nobody's buying DVDs now, so you can't make those movies that they thought we could bank on that.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, and then you're just getting probably a flat rate from Netflix.
But then,
or
Right,
but then
exactly,
like,
Paramount or-
right.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Then like actors are signing deals with Amazon,
Right.
Netflix, and stuff to
Exactly.
do multiple movies with them because then they're just
Right, and they're
Don't
not
have to worry
even
about it.
signing onto a project. They're literally just saying, "Hey, I'll do 3
Yeah,
movies
they're
for
signing
you."
on the network. which
Adam,
Throw
is
me a
crazy.
movie.
Adam
Yeah.
Sandler did that. That's why he's had like 5 come out in the last
Right,
couple years.
right. I think his is different than like Chris Pratt, where Chris Pratt did sign on with Amazon, was just like, "Hey, whatever, I'll do 3, whatever," or how many it was. Where Adam Sandler's was, "I will write and direct,
Correct.
or
Yeah, well, yeah,
whatever,
they're
how many
his.
movies."
Yeah, they're
Exactly,
like Happy
right.
Madison or
Yeah, 'cause he can
whatever
really do it. He
his
can
thing
really
is.
do it his own, but why when you have this whole team that'll do it for you?
Yep.
Terminal List is fucking amazing.
And they'll handle distribution and everything like for you.
I'm just not that kind of. I'm not. I heard some bad things about it, and I just don't want
Which
to watch
one?
it. Terminal
Terminal
List.
List.
I'm just not a Chris Pratt
We
guy
watched
anymore.
it. We watched
Pratt
it.
guy.
I love it.
I mean, that's fine. I'm
I
not. I'm
haven't
not
seen it.
saying anything bad about it. I
It
just.
was.
I'm Chris
it was
Pratted
good,
out
but I'm.
doing this all the time.
It wasn't. It's that's not like something that draw like.
That's what I'm saying.
Military like that. That's not my cup of tea.
Is that
But it is
Randy, you
carrots.
shake one up for me, boy.
But it is carrots. So like
Shake
that's
one
why I
up.
watched
Yes,
it
the
because
X.
he watched it.
the last Chris Pratt movie was Tomorrowland?
yeah,
Or
that was on Amazon. Yeah,
Yeah,
That was an
that was. I
Amazon
watched
one.
it on Amazon because I just recently
we
got Prime.
watched-
You know, I welcome to 2022. What's up?
fine.
And I was like, I want to see that. It wasn't terrible.
No.
but like I wouldn't watch it again.
Yeah. I would probably watch it now just because I feel like it's been a while and I don't really remember as
Shaking
much
up.
of it.
Shoot.
But I mean, I think
careful opening
Terminal
that.
List is it's worth a watch.
Right.
I wouldn't say that it's like my favorite show,
Go ahead, open that.
but I for a show that I didn't have a strong desire to watch, I wasn't
bad.
disappointed. Yeah.
That makes sense.
It was definitely more of a character. I will say that I have been a Chris Pratt fan in a lot of things that he's done, but I do get what you're saying. I feel like lately I've been a little Chris Pratted out.
right. And
Like-
my biggest thing is he's not changing what he's
role,
doing.
Right.
Right. And if you're gonna do stuff and you're
See-
gonna be the same character, like Jim Carrey. I love Jim Carrey, right? He got into I'm just Jim Carrey in every movie.
Yeah.
And he went out on a limb and did The Truman Show. He did The Number 23. He did all these movies that were like out of his
Outside,
right.
Eternal Sunshine,
And he,
something. Yeah.
Eternal Sunshine, thank you. And he was great in them and he was different in them. So then he could go back and then just be Jim Carrey.
Correct.
Right?
So here's what I will say. What is that?
What?
Nothing. Everything's fine.
Nothing. Yeah, everything's
What's
fine.
up?
What are you talking
What were
about?
we gonna say?
Is that thunder?
No.
What's up? I coughed.
Yeah.
That was loud enough for me to hear
Oh no.
through my.
Secret. I gotta say.
I like how you both were just like nothing.
Nothing. What are you talking about? Everything's fine.
But I will say, like, because he's, in Guardians of the Galaxy, in Jurassic
He's fine in
World.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
But this is what I'm saying. In Guardians of the Galaxy, Jurassic World, some of the stuff he does, he's that action guy, but he's got that quick wit. He's got that comedy. That is not Terminal List.
No.
There's
yeah.
no comedy.
But I'm
He
still
doesn't
yeah,
have that,
I
any
still
of
don't-
that
I don't know.
in Terminal List.
I will say
I will say that. Terminal List, his character is more towards like the Tomorrowland
Right.
him,
Okay.
but even darker.
I
than
like
that.
Andy in Parks and Rec. And it's because he was fat. right?
God.
So he's doing that
Relatable.
stupid. Right? he's just doing stupid stuff, and it's funny, but he's not on screen all the time, so you can breathe a little bit, right? Where if he's the main character, it's too much.
Yeah.
Chill out. What are you doing? You're looking at what the Doppler, the radar.
Everything's fine.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
storming
looking at
here a little
anything.
bit. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm liking the holes you found though so far in Iron Man 2 because there's a couple you always like it's stuff you see and then like you don't think about but you think about it but you just don't ever
Right, yeah, exactly. And it's funny too because I like this movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't hate Iron Man. I really like the first Iron Man movie. I like what it sets up. I like what it's trying to do. I like Tony Stark as a dick, but like you can see in the first movie more so than the second
Just
movie.
look at the weather.
He's like
How you did.
he's like I wouldn't look at the weather. He's like how would I say more
I just looked outside.
you can kind of get with him, right? Where the second movie, he is being a dick for most of it. Where the first movie, you're like, okay, we'll be fine. You know, it's going to be good. But I don't know. In this movie, you're right. There are a lot of plot holes that you can call out that they don't wreck the movie.
Right.
But the minute you think about them, more than like 5 seconds, you're like, what's going on here?
Like so one of my favorite scenes we were kind of talking about how he's like a mad scientist or whatever. It's where he's building the new, I guess that laser thing. Well, he basically builds a hydrogen collider.
I want to talk about that too. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because like with everything going on, overseas, it's hilarious. I was like, holy shit, he did this too. So anywho, he builds this
basement.
Yeah, he builds this hydrogen collider, tests this laser thing, destroys his home, but like that's what it. But in order to be who he is, he has to take it to that level.
Right.
If you don't, he has to not care about the damages that he's doing.
Right.
In the name of science.
Exactly. Right.
So that's where I do get on board with it because I like the touch of the
focus right now.
I want to get you like a heavy blanket.
Just lock your phone. Don't look at the
Oh
Why
no!
you
Look at
want
that.
me,
That looks like a
psychopath?
bad painting of
Let's
orange.
put that away.
Jeez.
So I do want to talk about that scene because we're not the scene, but like how he gets to that. Like, oh, you've just created a new element,
right?
Because his dad didn't write it down. He made a fucking World of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
I get it. Is it cool? Sure, but it's just a little far fetched for me to believe that only Tony Stark would look at that and go, "Oh yeah, sure, we just made a new fucking element."
Yeah. Well, it was cool how it was hidden in the
awesome.
expo.
I like it.
And he's very specifically, I made this for you.
Yes.
And he was actually specifically talking about the.
I know we're not there yet, but that's my favorite scene.
Okay,
Him
that's
figuring
fine.
Everything out.
I just want to say, going through and making an entire expo, because
For
it's
a
not.
year.
So hold on, it's not just a model. They
Right.
made an entire expo like Futureland in Disney World. Come on, bro. Like, you don't need to do that. Like, just fucking write it down on a piece of paper and
Right.
say, "Here, Tony, it's in my will."
Well, look, instead of just loving him naturally, he
Right,
loved him
right,
through
I
building.
guess.
And then also the expo lasted a year.
That was cool. I like
A
that.
fucking year?
He never wore New Balances.
But it
Never.
didn't because it
Or
got
has dress
fucking
shoes.
destroyed.
Yeah, it got fucked up, but
Right.
it was supposed to last a year.
Yeah,
what were
which
they
is
gonna
cool.
do for a year?
Well, they were having like different like people come in and
I'm
talk
sure
about
that
things.
it wasn't like every day of the year.
Well, no, I think it was supposed to be like Future
like
World or
weekends.
whatever in Disney World. What did I say? Future World, Futureland.
It's crazy to think that where he was like in the government.
Tomorrowland?
Okay, Tomorrowland. Thank you.
Well, because he was his own personal company, but he was a contractor with the government and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's weird to see him like that's the way of him to like express and learn new ideas.
Yeah.
While tiptoeing so close on that government line, because you had to like even then there's things that the government's been the government forever. You know
Right,
what I
yeah,
mean?
exactly,
So
yeah.
and it's like to think that you would even want to let them know you know this because I mean shit, who knows?
Exactly. Well, and another thing too, though.
Who knows?
You know, in the first movie,
government knows.
the government knows all. In the first movie, he basically said, "Hey, we don't have,
Right.
arms anymore. We're not dealing with weapons and whatnot." And that's even Justin Hammer even says, if it wasn't for Tony giving that up, I wouldn't even be here.
Right.
Right. So like with the whole future world or whatever it is, what is it?
Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland. Bringing that in and having all that with what you're saying about like government shit and like just learning about stuff, like, all right, that's cool, but is it all about weapons? I don't
Right.
think so. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's about just technology in general. And going back and looking at what was it? It was what show? I think it was a show.
Not this time.
No, there was a part in one of the shows where they go back in time and they show his dad, Howard Stark, doing a presentation with a car that's levitating, and it's supposed to be future tech of Tony Stark.
Was that a show or movie?
I fucking can't remember.
I think it was a movie.
It's a movie. What is it?
Well, they go back in more
just-
than
it just
one of
came
them, though.
Why can't I think of what it was? And then the car gets blown up.
Tony
and-
went back and met him, right?
Tony's already dead at this point. I can't remember what show this was because the car starts levitating and then it like stops and breaks.
We need that.
Drop that all casually.
I know what you're talking about, though.
I think of what it is.
Dude,
Don't do it.
I'm gonna look it up. Look it up. Put your phone down.
Is it
Tara.
What
you
If?
Don't need to fucking look at it now. Is it? No, I haven't watched. any of the What Ifs.
It might be
I
What
started to, but then I couldn't fucking get into it.
Whatever. As you're looking that up, box office that week, I'm going to go through the top 10 that came out the week of Iron Man 2. Number 10, The Losers.
Captain America.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, it was Captain America.
Yeah, it was.
Wow. Okay, because we just watched it. That's what it was. What are you looking at?
Generator.
You don't know what a generator
Yeah, how's
is?
your power situation looking out?
Yeah, our power's out at the house. Our generator's running.
Damn.
Oh, that sucks. I'm not going to say it because if I say it, we'll lose power.
Your grid looking pretty good though.
We
Grid looks pretty good.
No,
rarely lose
I didn't
power
see any
here.
Jenny
Grid's
on
looking
site.
pretty good.
Where are you
so-
guys at?
Right.
Cool.
Behind the Dix and the Coles.
Okay.
Down there.
The Coles.
Decals.
Anyways, number 10 was The Losers. That actually has Captain America in it.
Yeah.
Why don't I remember
What
that?
is the losers?
A bunch of losers.
Oh.
Just shoot him up.
Yeah, it's actually not
it's not
bad
bad.
movie. Yeah, it's not bad. Nothing like, well, you need to go watch it, but not bad.
I don't think I know what that is.
Sure. Number 8, Babies.
What about 9?
Baby.
Sorry, number 9, Babies.
I was like, wait.
Sorry.
What
These
is
give it a
ideas are hitting
Is that the
different.
cartoon?
I don't know what it was. I went to look it up and I was like, I don't got time for this. Number 8,
Damn.
Death at a Funeral.
the with Chris
Steve
Rock.
Martin.
Yeah.
No?
No, the new with
Well, it was 2010.
Oh, 2010, I'm an idiot.
So yeah. It would have been with Chris Rock.
Chris
and a
Rock,
couple
Kevin
other-
Hart,
yeah.
and that movie's actually
It's not bad.
Oh yeah.
the best part of that movie is Chris Marsden. Is that?
Mhm.
When he's on
James
he's-
Marsden. No?
James Marsden.
James? Yeah.
Yes. When he takes what he thinks is Vicodin, but it's actually like acid
Oh.
or something.
That sounds like
I was going to
Like
say
a
Viagra,
Pokemon.
but that took a turn.
Surprise.
It's
Different,
honestly,
Yeah, yikes.
his whole part in that movie is worth watching the movie because it's just very funny. He's just
like tripping
he's
the whole
going
time?
around and he's like he sees like these 3 like frog statues that are like playing instruments like in a garden, and he goes and he sits with them and he's like, honey, I'm in the Beatles.
All right, that's funny. That's funny.
That's pretty
it's just
good.
like stuff like that. And then at some point he like strips down and he's sitting on the roof because he just got really hot.
Oh, yeah.
So he's just naked on the roof while the funeral's all like happening
Sounds like a good time.
down
Actually,
there.
you have to check
like,
that out.
Right.
It's funny.
You sold it.
Yeah. Speaking of Beatles, have you ever seen the Yesterday movie?
Yes.
I haven't. I need to watch that.
Was
I
it good?
thought it was cute.
Okay, I've
I
downloaded. I
wouldn't.
just
It's
never
not
watched
like.
it.
Watch it again.
I mean, it's not like. No, I mean, I would. Well, I like the songs and so it's the premise though, right?
yep.
The
He goes.
there's-
He doesn't go back in time.
No,
It's
the
just that
world just
nobody-
doesn't
there's
know.
some sort of like power trip.
Yeah.
And then all of a
CERN.
sudden the world doesn't know
Except
about
him,
the
but the
Beatles.
Beatles, right.
Except
He's
for him
the-
and then like a few other people
like,
that find
you find out later there
Mm.
are a couple other people that remember the Beatles, but it's not just that, there are certain things that also don't exist because they
Didn't exist. That makes
helped.
sense.
Yes, so he's looking up even different products and stuff that like
Oh, wow.
didn't up
Just
existing.
full butterfly
Yeah,
effect.
I like
and so he's trying to remember all the words to all the. He's got like a wall of like post-its that he's trying to like.
be
So
so
he
hard
writes down
'cause
as many
I hate the
Beatles
Beatles.
songs as he knows. And he starts moving the post-its as he remembers it. So like, okay, I've remembered all of this song. So I've got, and he starts becoming. He was a musician already before it happened, but
Well,
he
I
starts
hope
becoming.
because it would be hard to
He starts
figure out
becoming
being a musician.
famous because of.
So was he using Lugal or Google?
Lugal.
I don't know. I don't remember. But like he plays it. The first time he realizes that no one remembers who the Beatles are
Right.
is he starts playing one of their
Shotgun
songs.
to the dick.
And I think it was Yesterday.
I'd be great at it.
No.
That's
I
one
think
of
it
my
was,
favorite movies.
I think it was Yesterday, which is why I think that. But he starts playing that for like his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Or his girl that's a friend and like this other couple they
Girl
know.
that's a friend,
And they're
okay.
all like, "Oh my gosh,
Lame.
like, is that new?" And he's like, "No."
This is the Beatles.
I mean, yes, billionaire.
Yep. And
Done.
then that's basically how it
I
goes.
get it.
He's
so
like,
so we don't need to watch it.
Exactly.
no, it's
We got it. We got it.
No,
we got
it's cute though, and like Ed Sheeran's in it. And he tries to convince him to change "Hey Jude" to "Hey Dude"
Fuck Ed
and
Sheeran.
stuff like that. It's
Number
cute.
7, Clash of the Titans.
I don't think I've seen that since it came out.
That was the one where they.
Sam Worthington, and then they tried to make a sequel, and then that bombed.
Yeah.
You know. It's funny, like he was great in a couple movies and was going to be like the next big thing in Hollywood, and then just disappeared after he was in Avatar.
Yeah. What is he? Is he in the new Avatar?
Yeah.
He is going to be in the new Avatar.
He voiced some video games. He voiced Call of Duty
Yes.
and stuff. Great voice.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's funny. Like I'm saying, like he should have been everywhere. And I
Maybe-
wonder if it was like personally, like I got my check, I'm good. You know,
What do you mean he voiced Call of Duty?
He was the
a bunch of people.
Mason.
He was
the
the
character
character.
Mason.
Black Ops.
In the
Fuck yeah.
career.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they actually did like they brought.
Ice Cube's
I'm
in
a Call of Duty nerd,
Yeah,
but
me too.
they brought him in to do like the green screen shootings for that. Like
Oh,
when they
that's
did
really?
the table where they're playing like Russian roulette in
Yeah.
Vietnam. They did that in real. They just put they CGI'd
Yeah,
them up.
yeah.
Right,
But yeah, they really did they acted out all that stuff.
That's dope.
Yeah, so that's why I was saying it was pretty cool.
The more you know.
Yeah,
The more you know. Number 6, Furry Vengeance.
Nope.
That's with Brendan Fraser when he started going.
I don't even know what that is.
It's not worth your time.
cool,
Okay.
Yeah. Number
Done.
5,
Done.
The Backup Plan.
not bad.
Oh, with Jason Bateman
It was okay.
and Jen Aniston.
It was okay.
Yeah, not bad.
I'll watch anything with Jason.
A Saturday
Bateman.
afternoon if it's on.
Yeah, a
I'll
TBS
watch-
special.
I agree. Like it's come up sometimes, like when I'm scrolling through Netflix or whatever to watch, and I'm like,
I'll never select it.
Right, but if it's on,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Background,
I've seen it, and I'm like, nah. I
It's a
love
backup
Jason
plan
Bateman,
itself.
Yeah,
So I'll watch
that
anything
was
with
good.
Jason Bateman.
Where's the thing? Where's
that's
the?
right.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
I
good.
got it. Yeah, there we go.
I liked the one Jason Bateman did with Ryan Reynolds where they changed places.
J-Lo in
Did
it?
you change bodies? You
Yeah,
seen that one?
The change up.
The change up?
That's
Yeah.
just been-
That was funny.
Oh, this is a
Italy.
different movie. You're thinking of The Breakup. The Backup
No, I'm
Plan
not
is
thinking
with
of The
Jennifer
Breakup.
Lopez
Oh, where she gets herself pregnant.
and Alex O'Loughlin, Eric
She
Christian
goes
Olsen.
no, she goes to a sperm bank and like because she wants to have a baby, she's
Plot.
not in a relationship.
Zoe gives up on finding the man of her dreams, decides to become a single mother, and undergoes artificial insemination the same day she meets Stan.
What was that movie called
when they
then?
both try to hail the same taxi. All right.
Oh man, so she gets
yeah,
pregnant.
so then she
What a
has to tell him,
story.
That
like,
sucks.
all right.
Get an abortion.
So, but what is?
So it's a rom-com.
But she still wanted the baby.
Get it with the dude then.
Hey,
you got
What is
time.
the one then?
I don't really know what's
It's the
going
breakup,
on.
I think.
They didn't make shit.
You're
on this
thinking
fucking
of the
movie.
No,
one with
it's
Vince
not the
Vaughn.
break. No, I'm not.
Oh no, yeah, I
There's
know
one
what you're
where
talking
she
about.
There's
does
one
the
with
same
Jason
thing.
Bateman.
She gets sperm from a sperm bank, and she's going to
Baby's mama.
But Jason Bateman they're best
that.
friends. He accidentally spills it, so he puts his own in the cup, and she gets pregnant with his baby, but he barely remembers doing it because he was drunk.
What is that one
Fuck
called?
is that?
That's what I'm trying
That
to
is
find out right
wild, and
I
there's
don't
no
think I-
way people are making that up. That happened.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. Well, have you heard about never mind. That
Last
doctor out in the Midwest?
Yeah,
Switch.
yeah, that
He's got,
fucking
like,
Netflix show.
Yeah, he's got
The
like
Switch.
10,000 kids.
now. It's
How
called The
wild
Switch.
is that?
Crazy. Like
How would you feel as that guy? Like
how would you? Well, I mean,
Which guy?
the guy
so
who
there
has
was a
10,000
doctor.
babies?
There was a doctor who
Oh, it
was
was like
who ran an
yeah,
infertility
yeah.
clinic,
and he was just giving.
but
them
he was
his.
using his.
Yes,
and he has like 10,000 children.
Yeah.
Yerking in cups all day.
Was it that much? I thought it was like 500 something.
I don't
Whatever.
know.
Is it a
It's
lot? Is it
I'm just-
1,000?
More than 10.
10,000 sounds way better.
Yeah.
But it was a lot. And then that's
way
where they
worse,
brought it
I
up
think.
because people were like starting to date and
Yeah.
they're doing like ancestry and like, oh, we're related.
Right.
Because that's how many of them were. They were finding each other.
God, that's so wild.
Yeah. Could you imagine?
Well,
No.
they did that movie with Vince Vaughn. Remember?
Yeah. Yes.
Delivery
Delivery man.
Delivery
Yeah.
Man,
That's
where-
so fucked up.
In
Delivery
New York,
man.
and he's
Where
got
there
like
was
1,000 kids.
like
Yeah.
100 and something, or 1,000.
1,000 sounds good,
You're
right?
saying better numbers. So, and same
Pump
thing.
those fuckers up.
They all like find each other.
Those are rookie
it
numbers.
turns out because he was just trying to make money
Yeah.
when he was younger, just like going donating.
I mean, why not?
The
Blood and
switch.
sperm.
The switch is what
The
the Jason
switch.
Bateman one, and it's because
storm.
Definitely a storm.
this is a storm.
We're in it. We're right in the middle of it. It's cool. You got
The
headphones on. You
switch.
can't
It's
hear.
because that's why, because he switched it with his own because he spilled it, and he's like, oh shit. Yeah,
Cool. Number 4, date night.
It's a good one.
that's a good one.
What was
You
that?
put
Who-
your
who
junk
was
in
that one?
reverse.
That one.
Steve Carell.
It's a
and,
good movie.
Tina Fey.
Tina
Fey,
Fey.
yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
god! And it's just they don't know what's going on.
He's doing
Yeah.
the kill. She turned it sideways. It's a
kill shot, kill shot.
Kill shot. Who,
I love-
isn't Channing Tatum in it? And Mila
No,
Kunis?
It's Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, it's Mark Wahlberg
Yeah.
and Mila Kunis.
No. It's Mark Wahlberg who's the guy, and then it's James
What's her name?
Franco.
James Franco.
James
That's
Franco.
it. That's
Whip
it.
it, baby. Whip it,
Yeah.
baby.
Yep.
2 minutes.
Yep.
she starts
She's
packing
like starts
up.
packing stuff
It's a
in the
good
bag.
movie.
Oh my god, that is so good.
It's not one of those like you gotta watch it movies, but it is good to watch.
Based on what you said earlier, that's not one that I'll put on if it's on. I will watch that. Like if
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
if
If
it
it's
comes
on.
up scrolling and there wasn't anything I was specifically looking for, I'm like, yeah.
Exactly.
They dance in the club.
It's funny.
Yes.
Yep.
That car scene's one of my favorites.
on
You
the
put your
strip-
junk in
on the stripper. They're on the stripper
Yeah.
pole, and
Yep.
he's like,
He's like, oh, he's got his broom.
he's doing it with them. Yeah.
You haven't seen it?
I don't know.
Man, it's
It's- I will
worth
say
a
this.
watch.
It's
You and
good.
your girl need to watch it for a date night.
Yeah, it's worth a
I
watch.
have it.
It's
I
good.
have it
It
on
is.
Blu-ray. I think if you want to borrow it.
And he
It
puts
is-
he puts his suit jacket on backwards.
Yeah.
and he,
It's pretty fun.
and he has her
I love
glasses
Steve
on.
Carell, so.
You don't like it?
No, I love Steve.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
he's loved
he's
it.
good in it.
Yeah.
It's a totally different.
He's
It's out of his
so-
norm.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also love the beginning where before when they're the boring couple.
Yeah.
And they're out to dinner and they're guessing what each people are out to like.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a first time couple. Like that's
Yeah.
and they're doing the voices for them. She's like,
it's like,
I'm just waiting for you to die so I can take all your money.
Isn't Wyclef Jean in that scene? Like he comes up somehow.
Will I Am is.
Yeah,
Or
in
is it
the
Will I Am?
restaurant.
It's
Will I
Am.
Am.
Okay,
she's
whatever.
like,
Same thing. That's racist.
We had Will I Am here and he left his phone.
Oh, that's fucking Olivia Munn too, isn't it?
The
hostess,
hostess.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I think it is.
Because she's also in this movie.
She is. I remember when I was watching it, I was like, oh my God, this is like early then.
Well, that was
for
her being on Attack of the Show and doing like her, hey, I'm a host on a TV show, and now I'm being a host on a TV show. Like, fuck.
And then she became an actual.
Yeah, something.
Actress.
Yeah, now she's married to,
No, they're not married. They have a baby though.
oh,
John Mulaney.
John Mulaney, yeah, who said, I'm not having kids ever, and then went, I guess I am.
Oops.
I'm going to divorce my wife and then have a baby with somebody in 3 months. Oops.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure that probably started before the
probably.
divorce.
You're probably
Yeah.
right. Those motherfuckers.
And
Sorry.
he's aggressive stints
He
of
is still
rehab.
funny. I do still think he's
I do.
funny,
Kid Gorgeous at wherever that stand up is amazing. I will watch it whenever. All right, top 3. I'm gonna say them, and you got to guess.
Well, we
what the
already know
order is.
Iron Man 2
So
is
yeah,
in
Iron
it,
Man
'cause
2.
You haven't said it.
How to Train Your Dragon, and A Nightmare on Elm Street, the like remake. Randy, where you at? Don't look over here.
Do you mean the one
not
that was
looking.
basically like the original, just with different people?
Right, it came out in 2010.
So annoying.
Okay, I want to say one.
Every movie. They're doing another Halloween. Sorry, Randy.
Well,
it's
the
End thing.
Yeah,
it
I
ends.
can't.
Does it really?
No,
Is
probably
it
not.
really gonna?
We're back.
Is he dead this time?
Right.
Really?
There's gonna,
No.
that last scene's gonna be his eyes open in the mask. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, but money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to say one thing about the Nightmare on Elm Street. That was the first movie me and my wife went to see together. So
Oh.
it holds a special place in my heart. It's a terrible movie, but
trash.
yeah,
Well,
it's trash.
but on that note,
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger was probably always my favorite, like classic monster.
Freddy in the 80s, yes, because he was fucking hilariously scary.
Yeah.
Not only that, but like just the concept that they came up
a
with
great
for
concept.
him. You know what I mean? Like that he's not like every other Thrasher or monster or whatever. You have to be asleep and he gets you
Exactly,
in your
right.
fucking
Terrifying.
nightmares.
Also, the second movie is great because it's actually about someone trying to be gay in a world where he can't be gay. And for that to be in the
just took a
80s.
turn.
Sorry, I'm just saying that it's for that to be out in the 80s
No, I
is
agree.
wild.
Yes,
And it was
yeah.
such a great
Yep.
movie and such a turn, right? From the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie to that, you're not thinking that that's where they're going to go.
No.
And to me, that stands on its own as like a different type of horror movie that's good, but not Freddy, but still good.
I even like as kind of crappy of a movie overall it was, I still did enjoy Freddy vs. Jason. Like
love
even when
Freddy
they
vs.
brought
Jason. Oh
when
my
they
God, I
brought
love
him
Freddy vs.
back,
Jason.
like the actual people in it kind of lacked like
Okay,
the
good.
interactions of the
Fuck
other
me up as a
actors,
kid.
but
The
the
bed.
whole
Fuck me up
the
as a
whole
kid.
Freddy vs. Jason part, like them actually battling,
Was great.
The other people in it are kind of like,
So the first time
But
I
they
saw
don't care.
that, first time
You
I
don't
saw
care
Freddy
about
vs.
them.
Jason.
Yeah,
Don't
so
care
they're
about
irrelevant.
them.
Yeah, yeah.
First time I saw Freddy vs. Jason and it was at this cabin on the lake
no,
with just a wall of windows.
immediately no.
Fucked me up. I was like,
this must have
I was
been-
thinking I was in like 8th grade.
Like the
Damn.
new It movie that came out.
You're so
like,
young,
no,
though. The
no.
OG,
so that, but fucking,
which again was like
the OG
same as
It movie
remake.
isn't like a mini series. It's like fucking 4 hours long.
It's like 3.
It's a
and half,
long
yeah.
movie.
Trust me, I know.
That
I think
sucks
I
for you.
endured.
I'm not gonna lie. I think it was on
In
2
8th grade.
VHS tapes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Like
so
Titanic.
we went
But
to
also-
Blockbuster when it was still
Yeah,
a thing
Titanic
and
was
rented
too.
the DVD of it.
What is
And just fuck.
Blockbuster?
That's right. You're just so young.
Right.
But like Freddy versus.
I went to
But
Blockbuster.
I was watching
Okay,
Freddy
touche.
versus Jason, right? Like when
Yeah.
it first
Did you
started,
ever
and I was
rent
like,
a video game console
Yeah.
from Blockbuster? It's
I
amazing.
rented video games.
But not the console?
no.
You're too young for
No,
that.
we just
Yeah.
got we got the games for the console we had, which was PS1.
Right, but you could rent
You
video
could
games
rent
full
the
console.
That was your first
yeah.
console?
PS1. Mine was definitely
no,
that
mine
right
was
there.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was
Nintendo.
64.
And then we had
64,
Sega.
no. I was
We had a Sega Genesis.
fuck yeah.
It was the shit.
And NHL
That's-
94.
yep.
That's where it all
I
started.
had I had also I had Super Nintendo
That's fine.
and then Nintendo 64.
Right?
I had the Nintendo 64.
and 64 was the
after.
jam, bro.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the jam.
It's
But
funny.
Also, my dad buys like all of like
Good for him.
we did
wanna
the
party with
Wii,
your
we did
dad.
the Xbox, we
Right.
did the he
Right. Keeping it,
A Ray's a
Yeah.
good time.
I bet.
he did yeah. No, he
There's a
is.
good party.
He
That's good.
is.
That's good.
Yeah.
I was a PlayStation guy through and through. I always bought, like, my parents bought us like the original Nintendo.
You're wearing a PlayStation shirt.
Thank you. You know, I got an OG. What's up? So, if you look at that wall right
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
all the boxes, I have 1 through fucking 5 right there. I got every PSP that came out, whatever, it doesn't matter. I just loved PlayStation. The first time I had PS1 and I played it, I was like, holy shit, this is next gen. Like
Yeah.
3D graphics, Tekken 2, like it was amazing.
Yep.
And then Metal Gear Solid came out and just blew my mind as a kid, and I was just hooked. And I was like, nah, fuck N64, fuck Xbox,
Yeah.
PlayStation's where it's at. But now I've like, it's okay to have everything because why not?
Yeah.
So
We
PC
definitely
gaming.
we're an Xbox house.
Well, it's all PlayStation. Let's be
Like
real.
we've
that
always been an
N64 is
Xbox
Brent's,
Yeah.
house.
and he ain't getting it back.
I've had both. I went back and forth a lot. I'd
We-
be like, oh, PS. I remember I never had a PS4 because I got an Xbox.
Okay, yeah,
Then I was like, I
There was-
want the PS5, and I was like, there's no point because all I play is Call of Duty.
there you go. Yeah.
So it didn't matter.
That's well, and Carrot's not really a gamer either. Like when
Yeah,
when the new Call of Duties come out, he'll play them for like 2 weeks, and then he's
Right.
like done. But I
enough,
have
bye.
through our because what the new they release a new console like what every other year.
No,
ish.
it's like that's what's usually like 5. It's been a while. What is it, 5 years?
Not recent, but like it used to be like every other year a new Xbox would come out, or every 2 years. An Xbox
No,
would
no.
come
So
out.
Xbox was
while.
doing this thing where they come out with like the same console, but like slimmer or better or
Right.
whatnot, right?
Well, there
so
was the Xbox,
PS4
and then
came
you
out.
had,
and
like-
like $100 cheaper.
You
Right,
have like
yeah.
Xbox S, and then like the
Right,
X. So like Carrick and I have been together for 10 years.
Oh my
I have bought him as gifts
17
at
Xboxes.
at least 3 of those Xboxes.
What a good
like
girlfriend.
when they announce a new one, I'm like, okay, I know. His birthday is not even a month after Christmas, so it's usually because they'll release it in like November or something. So like, I'm usually like, okay.
See, I
well,
used to
this'll
play a
be-
lot. I have like I think I've Ring of Death like 5 like Xboxes.
Yeah.
Like just fried them because that's all I used to do.
Well, the last one that came out that like nobody like it came out during COVID, and of course everyone was trying to get
Yeah.
that and the new PlayStation, and they would announce like, okay, Best Buy is about to put them on at like 3
Right.
o'clock. People would and they'd be gone.
In a second.
I just happened to get on Facebook at the same time that someone that I was friends with posted, "Hey, I just got word that wherever is going to have them at 3:30."
Got 'em.
I got him one. And I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. And then he started going, yeah, I've got to wait. And I was like, fuck, no, I have to say something. Because if he goes and does it, then I'm going to be pissed if he buys himself.
We have
one.
2.
I'm buying your shit.
Can I say my top 3 now?
Yeah, so
yeah.
top 3,
Wow,
Randy.
okay,
What do you
geez.
think? What do you think? In what order?
Number 1, Iron Man.
Okay,
Number 2, Freddy.
okay.
Number 3,
How to-
How to Train Your Dragon.
Dragon, yeah.
Which is a great movie, by the way. Let's
is,
not
yeah.
It
sidestep
is,
How
but
to
it
Train
was
Your
the
Dragon.
first one,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna put it at number 3.
It was still a big thing.
I'm sure it was,
Okay.
but I know Freddy was too because
The nostalgia.
fucking Freddy Krueger.
Wasn't a good movie, but yeah.
No, it sucked.
Right.
I'm just stamping Randy's. That's where I'm going
Okay.
to.
What do you think?
I'm going Iron Man 1,
Yeah,
like top.
sure.
And I'm going to switch it. I'm going to say How I Met Your Dragon. How to Train Your Dragon.
How I Met Your
How I
Dragon.
Met Your
How I
Dragon.
Met Your
What's
Dragon.
it do with the dragon?
Yes.
I just finished watching How I Met Your Mother again. Okay, it's fresh on my brain.
Mm.
And then
Have you watched the? We're not going to get too deep into it, but have you watched the actual alternate ending?
No,
It's on YouTube. Just look it up.
All right, I'll look it
it's
up.
I'll look
way
it up.
better.
because
I'll
I
look it up
hated
Is
tonight.
it real
I
or is
hated
it
the
fan made?
ending.
No, it's real. So Carter Bays and what's the other guy's name? The writers of How I Met Your Mother actually have on the DVD
Yeah,
box set a alternate ending that is what it should have
Better.
been.
Yeah.
100%.
I hated the ending. I
Me
was so
too.
mad about it.
Well, the Okay.
And that is how
To little baby rant. The way they bring the mother in, you immediately are like, yes, this is the person for
This is
Ted.
her,
This
yes.
she is great. And then, oh, she's dead.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Just that's it.
It is. But after you watch it once, like when you go back to watch again, you start picking up on things that like
Sure, but give
he
me
says or she says, and you're like, oh,
Don't
yeah.
give me the
They
entire-
were giving it to us. You just couldn't.
yeah, but don't give me the entire last season as one weekend,
Right.
and then the last 2 episodes with the mother. Give me the whole season with the mother, and then do the death.
I didn't.
thing.
So I didn't dislike how they did the last season. Was just the one weekend and the flashbacks with the mom. I didn't dislike that. I disliked the very fast pace, how they rounded it out at the end.
Yeah, it was
where
kind of
they
like
just kept fast forwarding years and years and years.
Yeah.
And
give me
then
an hour episode,
and then for
season finale.
because
Their fucking Seinfeld got an hour episode.
even more so than the fact that that she dies. I was more mad that we watched this Barney and Robin.
Oh, and it
Love
just
story.
that gets over too.
That made me madder, I think, because I was like, this was
I gotta
it.
watch
This
this
was
series
it. This was perfect.
Yeah, it's good.
I gotta watch it again.
And they ended it on a perfect, like, that weekend ended on a perfect note. And then Ted came back and all that. And Barney and Robin were it. That was Endgame.
And then no. Yeah, fucking stupid. Anyway, so it goes Iron Man 2, number 1, Nightmare on Elm Street, number 2, and then How to Train Your
you gotta
Dragon.
think about these things, Tara.
number 3.
That's
So
how you
did.
win.
I did, but do you remember?
How I
Do you
Met Your
remember
Dragon.
what
Josh.
I said last time?
I Met Your Dragon.
But do you remember what I said last time? Usually, when there's a kid family movie, it does tend to be
up
higher
there,
on the
yeah.
list. So that's
I had a lot
what
of time to think about this while I went to the bathroom, and I was just thinking. I actually didn't know about this, so that's a lie. I just thought about it while I was down here, honestly.
Does it?
Freddie, you
Here's-
started talking about Freddie versus Jason
Yes.
when I got back from the bathroom,
Freddie
Right.
vs. Jason.
and I thought about it. People love that stuff.
Listen to me though.
Put a new one out.
You didn't tell us when they
Listen
each
to
came
me.
out
I-
like you usually
I
do.
win.
So
Would that have made a difference for your?
It would
Nightmare
have.
on Elm Street was in the second week. How to Train Your fuck you, Tara. How to Train Your Dragon was in its second week. So
That would have changed things for me. I'm not gonna lie. Because how to
How?
I'm
How,
telling you,
Tara?
I needed to know the variables.
no, but
didn't
really,
know all of
because
them.
How to Train Your Dragon on your first week, I would have been more confident in putting it higher.
okay, I get it.
If How to Train Your Dragon, all right, Jesus,
You're
If
fucking everybody
How
up.
to Train Your Dragon was on its first week, but Nightmare was on its second.
Sure,
That would have changed things. I'm confident on that.
pretty sure How to Train Your Dragon was number 1 when it came out.
The more we say How to Train
Above
Your Dragon,
Nightmare.
it sounds just as awkward as How I Met Your
I
Dragon.
know, right?
Like it sounds just as awkward.
Does he train his dragon?
Right. How?
That almost sounds.
That dragon was adorable too.
PG. This can't be.
All right, tomatometer time. The Rotten Tomatoes score. What do we think? Okay, so we're gonna do something here that we've never done before. We're gonna do critics, audience, and IMDb score all in one. And I'm gonna say this to help you guys. It's the closest I've ever seen it.
So we
Across the
do
board.
we
Across
need,
the board.
Do we need to get specific here? We have to get.
Out of 10?
Get what?
So critics
Specific.
Pacific?
sorry.
I said the right
Pacific
word.
time.
I'm done with
Tomatometer
this.
is out of 100%,
Right.
and then IMDb
100%.
is out of 10. Right? So Randy, you kick us off. You tell us what do you think critics, audience, IMDb score is. Go. And it, like I said, it's close. Closest I've ever seen.
Were you just humming the wedding song? Like the walk.
Can you play the Jeopardy
Were
one,
you
please?
trying? Is that what you were doing?
It was. I was trying to do that. Thank you.
But instead you went.
Yeah, Steve, I would like to go 69,
Oh,
71, 7.5.
All right. Cool. Tara?
I'm gonna say which am I saying first? Critics first or
Critics,
audience first?
audience, IMDb.
Song's only so long. Keep going.
I'm gonna fuck you.
I'll start it again. I don't care.
I'm gonna say 71,
Dum.
70, and then 7. I'm gonna keep close to the 7s. I'm gonna say the 6
Okay.
7s.
All right. All right.
I was thinking higher, but you guys have kind of like.
You do you.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to go in the 80s.
Average.
Maybe like 81, 2.
I mean,
Somewhere
I
in
wouldn't
there.
argue with it. I could see.
What was
that
the second number
happening.
out of?
100%.
10.
So that you got 100%, 100%, and then 10.
Yeah, let's do 80s.
Yeah.
Let's do like 81, maybe like 82, 83.
Okay.
Okay.
Then let's do like a 8.4.
Oh, that's,
Ooh.
That's what I might feel like. I don't know. I just.
I like the eights.
4
Yeah.
getting in there.
Yeah.
I'm going high on this one. Just because of revenue.
Look at that.
That's
Look at that. So it is critics 72%, audience 71%, IMDb 6.9%.
Didn't you say 69?
Close as
He
shit.
said 7.5. I said 7.
I've never seen a movie this close.
7.1.
I was off by 1 on both.
Yeah.
I said 71 instead of 72, and I said 70 instead of 71.
I think I said 69.
off by 1.
69,
Yeah.
71, 75.
Nice.
So I was just too nice.
Yeah.
There probably things probably don't really rank that
But
high
we
that
also
often.
we've also done it more.
Right.
Like you.
Whatever.
You
Because
get
like we've
Fucking matter.
talked
Have
about
you seen me?
we've talked about
No.
before.
Have
you
how
seen me guess
I'm not
anything?
gonna
What
I'm
I
gonna go
mean
watch
is-
it.
Wrong.
What I
Right,
mean
right,
is
exactly.
we've had a lot of movies that like we've loved, but they were still like in the 60s, 70s range. So like that's what I mean.
It
Or
was
movies that we
5%.
actually liked and it was shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to like Rotten Tomatoes
Critics
sometimes.
especially.
Yeah, critics, you're like they should be harsher on certain things, and then you see a movie like this, and you're like, why isn't this in the 50s?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, is this movie critically a good movie? Is it
Yeah.
written good? Is there good dialogue? Is there good like scenes?
There was something the other day I was watching and I looked it up and it had really good ratings and I was very confused by it. And I can't
Right,
remember
and
now what it
it's-
was. I was like,
It's weird. The movies you think will be like
Is it
high
Dreamcatcher?
are shut the fuck up. Are like low, and then the movies you're like, okay, I can see that being like in the middle are high. It's fucking weird.
it might still be in my Google history.
It probably
actually.
is. It probably is. Whatever. All right, Randy, who was your favorite character in this movie?
I like Rhodes.
The movie is Iron Man 2.
Oh,
What?
yeah. I like Rhodes.
Rhodey?
Yeah.
I like in the beginning when they
That's
have
my
to.
dog's name.
Good for you. They have. Oh, sorry.
I
like in the
didn't-
beginning.
I forgot that was his name, and I'm watching it today, and I kept
And your
hearing it,
dog
and I
probably
was
perked
like,
up like, what the fuck is this? No, I like how they have to introduce him as a new character because he kind of is.
walks
He's a
in,
different actor.
"Hey,
and he's like,
buddy."
Rhodey? Is that Rhodey?
He's
Like,
hey, buddy.
it's
yeah,
so
it's
weird.
me. Let's get
right.
on with it.
Yeah, like,
And I was like, ooh, I liked it. It's me. I'm here. Let's go.
I kind of,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. You know what? I kind of like how they do that. Like, yeah, I'm a different dude.
So I thought about
Fuck
it while
it.
I was watching. So I watched it before I came over here. Like
Okay.
I did like a quick like.
You
watch
put it
this
on
one,
2.
Fast forward.
I
Watch
gotcha.
this part.
I gotcha.
Fast forward. And that part, I was thinking about it. What if they didn't? Ultimate Universe.
Okay.
They don't tell.
Robert Downey Jr. that it's a
Thank
different
you.
person, and he goes in
Yes.
and is like, this is Rhodey, and
Yes.
he's sitting there going,
Yes.
recognizes him.
Yes.
what's
This
going
guy
on? This
isn't
Don
Rhodey.
It's me.
Cheadle.
I'm here. Let's do it.
Right.
I'd be like, it'd be fucking sick.
I love
It
you, man.
was-
You're right. That
It
would be
was-
funny because you know Robert Downey Jr. would be like, all
And
right,
he'd
cool,
just
let's go.
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the new Nicolas Cage movie where he plays himself, The Unbearable
Okay.
Weight of
Was it good?
Massive Talent or whatever. It was good. Like,
Okay, cool.
like it's not what we thought it was going to be.
Which I thought was going
Like,
to be like, yeah.
It's not what we thought it was going to be, but it was good what it was. Yeah,
I
it
do
was
like
good.
Pedro Pascal, so I'm going to watch
Me too,
anything.
Josh.
It was
he's in.
good.
Me too.
But when I looked, I thought because of what it was.
Unbearable Weight of Massive
Where
Talent.
does this come from?
But he plays himself. He's playing Nicolas Cage.
Right. He's basically being hired to like show up to somebody's house as Nicolas Cage.
But
And
then a bunch of other shit happens.
and then chaos ensues because he's Nicolas
Well, it's
Cage.
like a day in the life of Nicolas Cage.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but it was good. We thought, but I thought this is not something critics are. This is
It's actually
it's
critically
too-
bad.
Does
It's
he-
critically
Crazy.
good. I mean,
It's too
Does he
crazy.
have-
But I looked it up and I was like, holy shit, they fucking love this.
it's probably like an
movie.
89 or something.
It was 80 something. Yeah, it was,
Does
yeah.
he have a plot to steal the Declaration?
Not in this.
Shut the fuck
one,
up.
no.
I love National Treasure.
Dude, me
like-
me too.
Yeah.
That's like
That's my comfort movie.
What's,
Okay.
what's
Yeah.
the guy's
That's a
name that's in
weird
it with
comfort
him?
movie.
It is a
That
weird
shorter
comfort
guy?
Riley?
Like
his real name?
I
when
like
he drives like
him.
he's like
I feel like anything he's been in, I've liked him.
It's funny. He should be in more movies. Like
He's
why
not,
he was
though.
shoehorned into that role and then
Right.
like nothing.
He was also, this is like the dumbest role to bring up for him because he's done better things.
Sure.
But he played the mentally
Better things,
challenged guy
Lois.
in Geely, where they have to kidnap him. And
How
do you
many
remember
people are
this?
playing mentally challenged people and getting away with
Do
it?
you
John
remember this?
Knoxville.
Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, where they have to kidnap
Edward Norton.
the kid,
no.
but he plays him. And there's one,
Sorry,
there's
Brian.
one part where they're in a morgue because they told him, send me his finger so I know that it's him. They were like,
what?
we don't want to, they like him, so they don't want to chop
chopping
his
off
finger.
fingers?
So they
Yeah.
chopped off a corpse's finger, and Ben Affleck is like, turn around, don't look. So he's
Hold on.
in
This
the,
happens in Geely.
yes.
You watched that movie?
I've seen it.
Oof.
I didn't go looking for it.
Oof.
But like,
Continue.
I
I
don't
think
even
that,
know what this is.
but
It's
like,
the
so
worst movie
he's-
like ever rated. I'm gonna look
Jennifer
it up.
Lopez's name is Geely in the movie. Isn't that where it comes
I
from?
think so. I'm pretty sure
And
the
he-
Rotten Tomatoes
what-
on that's like 5.
Like I was gonna say,
Yeah, it's not.
I get that it's a good. I can understand the comfort movie, but I just say it because it makes my conspiracy brain happy.
That too.
This better be
Yeah.
a long ass episode.
6%.
It always is.
It gets it
6% on Rotten Tomatoes.
2.6 out of 10 on IMDb. Oh my God, that's worse than like
But there's so he's like, turn around, don't look. Like he doesn't want to because he's got the mind of a child.
Headphones doing it too. Stop.
Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
It's a flash flood.
Don't look at it.
It's flash flood.
All right, you're good with flash floods,
It's
but
flash
not
flood.
Floods are cool.
Yeah, all right.
My
I
phone was going off
fine.
while I was looking at it, so I wasn't gonna miss it. But it's flash flood.
I mean, obviously, it's a fucking
We're
flash
okay.
flood. It's storming out.
But he's facing the wall and his eyes are closed, and he's like, "Don't pay attention." And so he's trying with with like a spork or something. He's like trying to cut off this dead guy's finger.
I give it a 1.6.
And while
the spork.
but while he's trying to do it, all of a
Like a
sudden
Popeye
you
sport and so
hear
flimsy.
you hear him in the corner
out of
go,
styrofoam.
"I like big butts and I cannot lie." He's just like singing Sir Mix-a-Lot to
Maybe
himself.
that's why he's not in movies.
It's
anymore.
just, but
Maybe
it was
not.
so the way he was singing, it was so funny. I don't agree with that either. Like all these people who are playing, mentally challenged roles
care about
or
that.
whatever, but he, just the way he spoke was, while he was singing, it was really
Shake
funny.
me up another one
The
there,
way he
Randy.
was phrasing the lyrics and stuff.
So yeah, getting back to National Treasure. That movie, for whatever reason, just like anytime it's on TV, I'm stopping everything I'm doing and I'm watching that movie. I've watched it so much. I own it on PSP. Think about that for a second.
Had anywhere you wanted it.
Exactly. I'm going to watch it wherever I want to watch it. On my PSP video, on this, on Disney Plus, wherever. They're coming out with a TV show on Disney Plus for like National Treasure.
Shut
It's
up.
not going to have Nicolas Cage in it, but I'm going to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
gonna watch it.
check
watch
that
it.
out.
Even the second movie, like a lot of people didn't like it.
No, I liked it.
fuck with it. It's the
I
same.
didn't, I mean,
it's
I
the
didn't
same
like it
movie.
as much as the first one, but like,
Do
Like 'em
not
both.
open that.
I'm not.
I like them both.
Yeah. So whatever.
at least you guys remembered this time.
Who is your favorite character, Tara? In Iron Man 2. We're talking about Iron Man 2.
Understood.
Okay.
Do you mind? We're trying to do something over here.
Did you not hear that?
I heard it.
Oh,
And he's
I was trying to figure out what
just
you said.
ignoring
What
it.
did you say?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you said Anders. And I was like,
went-
Anders was in this?
No, I sighed.
Oh.
I sighed. I was like, I'm gonna go with. Okay, don't come for me.
Argentina.
I'm going with Stark because I just think he plays that. I think he just plays him like
You're absolutely
Perfectly.
you're 100%
Yeah.
correct. Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man.
he's Iron Man.
He is Tony Stark.
He's Tony Stark.
For
Yes.
sure.
right. You go back and
I'm
watch
a big RDJ fan.
Who
So
else
like,
would they
He's a
have
beaut.
picked?
Yeah.
Who else
Tom
could
Cruise?
they have picked?
no,
No,
never.
no one's got the swag. He's got the swag.
Never.
No.
He's got the you can't act like a narcissist and people still like you.
You're right. You're right.
You know what I mean? And you still like him, like
Yeah.
for some reason.
And if it was Tom Cruise,
No, I wouldn't even have seen it if it
oh,
was
the
Tom
worst
Cruise.
name ever.
I mean, I would've
He already
saw it.
does,
No, I
but-
wouldn't have. I'm
Isn't
not
his
even
name
gonna
like
lie.
Tom Cochran or something? Or some
Who?
shit. Tom Cruise's real name?
That's not his real
Is it?
name.
No.
What do you mean?
I mean, I know actors do that, but I didn't know that wasn't his real name.
So like
Not gonna
who
look
we were
it up.
talking about earlier this in Spider-Man, Michael Keaton. His real name is Michael Douglas. But he couldn't take Michael Douglas because Michael Douglas is Michael Douglas. It's fucking wild.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not a Tom Cruise fan.
I'm not either.
wow.
The minute you find out that his middle tooth, his teeth are like
off-center?
off
Oh,
yeah, you
center,
can't
it fucks up your whole life.
Now, let me say, I did go see the new Top Gun, but that was more for the nostalgia of Top Gun, not for Tom Cruise.
We could talk.
Oh,
an
that's
hour,
what it is.
2
It's
hours.
Thomas
I love-
Mapother the Fourth.
McPother.
Mapother. But his middle name is Cruz, so all right, that works.
Maybe
Okay.
Mopother.
Who? That's more. Who
Mopother?
picks Cruz as a middle name? That's quite a middle name.
I like it, yeah.
You're right. Because why?
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. but It's not.
Judging by who he is, his parents are probably even fucking worse.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, he's got some
Demons.
There's some issues
stuff.
there.
Yeah.
He was locked in a closet in South Park, so. Josh, who is your favorite character?
So I'm gonna go. Mine's gonna be a little different here, and this is
I
Motherfucker.
fucking told you, don't listen to me.
I waited.
and this is I am including movies after this to help build my answer here.
That's not
Pepper
fair.
Potts.
Okay.
That's not fair.
She's
not
she.
fair.
I
the-
was focusing on
the
just this
development, or I could say, what's his name? The assistant. The growth.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Gets promoted to CEO.
Yep.
John
She's
Favreau.
already doing everything.
Yep.
Now she gets promoted to CEO. Next, they get the kiss at the end on the roof. Didn't happen in the first one.
It did not. It almost did.
Almost,
yeah.
but it
They
didn't.
had all that
so
sexual
we had
tension.
exactly. We needed tension for one more movie, and then the little redhead thrown
Yeah,
in there to,
Yep.
to throw things off.
Yep.
Nope.
You're right.
That's what we do.
Nope. Stays true.
We diverge.
And Pepper fills her role, and I feel like she's because without her, who is Tony
Who is
Stark?
he? He couldn't run his life.
Yeah, she definitely brings him back to reality a lot, right? In these movies, and especially, God damn it, the first movie,
right?
But the second movie, she's distracted, but on purpose because he's making her the CEO. And I like the whole, what's the fucking guy that they bring in from Fox News to show, like, is she okay with, who is this person to run or be CEO? And it's good because it's realistic. Like, that's how the fucking news would be.
What do they call her? It comes up and it calls her something. But he mutes it before he says it.
Yeah. Something fucking derogatory.
But, it is. But
makes sense.
But at the same time,
it's like pinheaded or nimwit or it's some shit like that.
Something like that. Yeah. So all right. I'm with you.
Yeah,
my favorite character is definitely Justin Hammer, just because he's so over the top. He's so into his character. You know what I mean? Like, I believe him as that character. I love Sam Rockwell in anything he does. Like Galaxy Quest.
Oh, yeah.
He is amazing.
Dude, what a good movie.
He's like, do I even have a last name?
Right.
But in this movie, like,
was that the one with
Tim
Allen?
Tim Allen, right?
Tim Allen. Yeah. I love Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Great
I'll watch
movie.
that every time it's on TBS as well.
Oh,
That
for
is
sure.
a fucking...
By Grabthar's Hammer.
Wasn't
What a savings.
Matt LeBlanc in that one too? Or was that?
No, you're thinking Lost
Is
in
that the
Space.
one where he's
Oh,
an
Lost in
actor?
Space. You're right. Lost in Space.
Yeah, they were
Yeah, they're all
actors.
actors.
Galaxy
Yeah.
Quest was. Yeah.
Anyways,
See,
just
I've seen things.
all right. Good for you. Good for you, Mike. Just Justin Hammer being what he's trying to be, and it's funny in the comics he's actually an old man, but they changed it for the movie
I like
for him
this
to
better.
be
Yeah.
like a kind of going up against Tony
More
Stark.
comparable.
Exactly, and I do like how, like, at the end he's not so much a villain as he's just like
He got
helping.
screwed too.
Right. He got screwed over kind of or whatnot, but he's still the bad guy.
Yeah, he's like, I'm helping. He's
That
like
guy,
getting arrested.
that
And
guy
he's like,
never
are
would have
you?
that guy never would have been there if he hadn't
Right.
helped him escape from
Right,
jail.
exactly.
Yeah, you helped a guy escape
He
from jail.
gave him all the materials he needed to do this.
Exactly.
He's a criminal. What did he think was going to fucking happen? And he didn't even get him his bird.
Right.
What did he think?
Is this the bird? I don't know.
This is not my bird.
Well, so in the comics, he like helps all these people so like all the comics, like the people that are going against Tony Stark have Iron Man suits almost, right, to go against them. But Justin Hammer is the man who's helping out with all that. So he would like take a cut from all these people making, they're stealing things or doing whatever. So he would help these people with what they're trying to do. So I kind of do like how they moved that into this story by kind of doing the same thing with him, I guess, hiring his son, Venko, whatever, Whiplash, into doing the same kind of thing. So it works with the comic story, but also changing it enough to be in this movie. So
Also, I want to say I'm not a fan of his.
Mickey Rourke.
I'm not
He's
a fan
got the
of his.
ugliest fucking fingers I've ever
But
seen in my life.
he
His
did
fingernails
this
like go
well.
over. He does.
He did this well. Like, I'm not a fan of his, but I feel like even like the accident stuff, I think helped him. Like,
What else has he been in?
You ever seen The Wrestler?
The wrestler.
Oh,
Yeah, he was
that
in
movie's
The
so good.
Expendables.
The
He
Expendables,
plays a
yeah.
great,
I've never
you
seen
know.
Expendables. You told me not to.
Okay, you're right. Don't watch The Expendables.
Yeah.
but he was more in stuff longer ago.
Yeah.
than-
He was like a 90s kind of movie star.
Well, he was a boxer in real life.
He was.
Right?
He was,
yeah.
He got his face fucked
Smashed,
up.
yeah.
Oh, that's why he looks like that.
Yeah, that's why he's so rough looking, yeah.
Yeah. So do we have a favorite part or scene there, Randall? I know you kind of said it.
Yeah.
But get back to
when
it.
he found out that the whole diorama. What do you want? What is that called?
Yeah, diorama, sure.
It was.
Model
It was
was
like a
like
model.
it-
Yeah.
Helped him do what he had to do. To
Oh, the expo?
make it- yeah.
Yeah.
The expo. It was like
Where he's got it up and
The
he's
world
figuring
of
it out.
tomorrow.
And he's like, get rid of the bushes, get rid of the trees, and like,
and then all of a sudden you're
Who's
good
that
to go.
from? Futurama? It is Futurama.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Like the voice you did.
Yeah. It's Futurama. Tara, what do you got? You got a favorite part? Scene? Stop looking at your phone. We're fine.
Storm's done.
Just-
I can't
it's
hear it
gone.
anymore. We're good.
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna get.
Okay. Go get deep.
I'm gonna go. It's not that deep, and it's such a quick part.
Okay.
I really like when Jon Favreau and ScarJo go to the Hammer's headquarters,
Yep.
and he's fighting the one guy the whole time, and she takes out the whole hallway of people. And then Jon Favreau, as soon as he's done, he's like, "I got him! I did it!" And he looks down the hallway, and there's just like bodies.
Yeah.
Right.
But because it was the first real Black Widow like
Sure, yeah.
outburst that you see, like of her actually doing what she's supposed to be doing.
What's really funny is looking back on that and going, wow, she had a hard time taking out some random security guards, but then fast forward like 4 more movies, she's battling aliens with no fucking like
no
she's
superpower.
But
right, and she's destroying them.
But she's also progressing too. That's I mean, think about the timing of those.
But if you look back and you watch Black Widow, which you haven't seen, it shows that before all this, she was badass already and doing a bunch of crazy shit. So it's like
she was an assassin. Like
right,
she's
right.
I don't think she had that much trouble fighting them.
No,
though.
it didn't seem like she did. She as soon as they approached her, they were fucking out.
Yeah,
like she was,
but it just didn't seem like she was doing the same shit she was doing like in
She also
Avengers.
didn't have weapons. She didn't.
She had her
that
whatever,
little thing.
yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like
The wrist
you put her
guards.
in a different situation. All she was doing was taking out security guards. What the hell was she supposed to do?
That's what she's just a human. That's what blows my mind about the whole Avengers thing. It's like she's just
right.
human.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. She doesn't have any
Like she falls like more than 10 feet, she's broken ankle.
Oh,
she done. Yeah.
the other small scene that I wanted to comment on is when, and I'm not going to remember the guy's name, but the dude that helps Fury. He's
Coulson.
Like, you remember
Agent Coulson.
Oh yeah, he's great.
When he goes down in the lab and Tony's building the thing to try to get the element, and he pulls out the shield, and he's like, "Where did you get this?"
Oh,
and
that's the perfect thing I
And he's
need.
like, "Oh, that's perfect. That's just what I need. Bring it over here." And he's like, "Do you know what this is?" And then he just puts it under the thing to level it because he doesn't actually know what it is. Like he's just like.
That's
And
where
it
that's where like he
balances out.
turned down joining Shield or something, right?
Well, so at the end of the movie, they basically say that Iron Man can be in the Avengers, but Tony Stark cannot be.
Because he's a narcissist.
Right. Which,
But he
I
declines
am
at
Iron
that
Man.
point and decides
exactly,
just to
right.
consult.
And he's like, I'll be a consultant. and he's like, well, you can't afford me.
Yeah, and he says,
okay.
you can't afford me. So.
And then it shows the Thor hammer at the
Yes.
end of
Yeah,
the
at the very the last scene in the crater.
That's well. So it's funny because when he said,
That's my favorite scene.
I've been reassigned.
Was it New Mexico?
New Mexico.
New Mexico.
I've been reassigned to. I've after I had to New Mexico. I was like, it's Thor, right? Like the whole time, even though I'm watching the movie, the whole time in the back of my head, I was like, they're gonna show me where he went, right? Because I swear it's Thor, but I couldn't. Like,
Right.
I was like,
It's hard,
I need
to
know.
remember. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, they showed it. Yeah.
Yep,
So, Josh,
they showed it.
what was your favorite scene?
Man, I really don't have a favorite scene, which
All
kind
right,
of sucks.
all
But I was
I
saying
get it.
the Thor, the teaser.
It is a good
The
teaser.
teaser,
yeah.
because he's like, oh, you know, we got a hammer over here. You
Right,
know?
right.
Which I
Like,
love. Which I love on Disney Plus. They let you skip the credits to the
Yes.
to the
and then
scene.
they know.
also just because of it being Agent Coulson and knowing his involvement,
Yep.
it's like, oh, this guy, he loves these guys, like you know, and he knows what it is, you know. So
Yeah. I will say,
Well,
yeah,
that's why the shield thing was cool because he knew
Right.
exactly what it was. He
Yeah.
took it up and he was like, "Where did you get? Do you know what this is?" He like
Right.
said it with such like, and
Gusto.
RDJ's like, "No, just let me
perfect.
put it under this fucking thing. I needed that exact much thickness to balance my thing." And he had no idea,
with the
you know.
thickness.
I like it.
But he had no idea what he actually
Right.
had.
So my favorite part or scene is definitely all the like bird stuff with Justin Hammer. It's hilarious. Like, is this the bird? I don't know. Is it? Take the bird from him.
Yeah.
Take his shoes.
Take the bird. Take
Right.
his shoes. Take
It's
both his
just-
pillows.
It's funny because he's trying to be a badass, but at the same time, you're like,
It's so silly.
It's not.
Yeah, he's like the
not-
weakest character,
Right, but it works. It all works, and it's funny, and you know he's gonna get his comeuppance, and he does. But at the same time, like, I wish he might have been in more movies.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he just kind of
Like as
disappears.
that character, you mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, why not show up
Making
and
a-
help people?
right.
Well,
or
because he
do
does even
something?
say as he's walking away, he's like, "I'm gonna be out
right
in a
Yeah.
couple days, and then I'll be back." And blah blah blah. And
because he can prove he didn't do anything. He
Right.
just, you know, but I mean, he did.
he did. He broke
Broke
that
the
dude
guy
out of jail.
out of jail.
That is an offense. Like
Yeah,
he
that's a
committed a
big deal.
crime.
Well,
That's
he
a
He,
big
did-
deal.
he didn't just break him out of
He
jail.
faked a death. He
He
blew
fucking-
up
He
a
put a fake
fucking-
body, right?
He killed a guy.
He killed a
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
He
Brick-
killed a guy.
Brick killed a guy.
Where'd you get a trident?
I stabbed a guy with a trident.
I mean to tell you, you need to lay low for a couple
Right.
weeks.
You're probably wanted for murder.
Amazing.
That's a good
I don't know
one.
why we haven't even hit
That's a
that
good one.
yet.
I just watched
I
that
was-
like
I just
2
watched
weeks ago
bloopers.
just because it came up.
I just watched some outtakes the other day, and I was like,
good,
God,
yeah.
how do they make it through this?
I know,
Like,
right? You're just
Mr.
sitting there.
Burgundy, you have a massive erection.
It's the
It's
pleats.
the pants. It's the
Yeah, they're
it's
just
the-
they must have hours
Oh, yeah,
of
there
film.
has to be.
Oh,
They're just
yeah.
like-
Just imagine Paul Rudd in the scene where he's like the Sex Panther scene, like,
Right.
you know, 60% of the time it works every time.
This-
They're not geeking out.
Yeah.
the
Well,
whole
in,
time.
in a lot of movies like that, they sometimes in the credits they're showing how many
they'll have, like, 9 lines.
one-liners.
They'll try-
They
yeah.
try a bunch, and then they're like, "Well, this one was the best one. We'll use
Yeah.
it." I actually read, and it's not on this, but I imagine it's the same with a lot of those comedies. But in the show New Girl, some of those Zooey Deschanel and two of the other
Poor guy.
Lamorne, whatever, and the chick, the other chick, Hannah Simone or something. They have a podcast, and so
is
each
Hannah
episode they go over an episode.
It is Hannah Simone.
Hannah Simone. What's Lamorne's last name?
Who?
The Winston. His real name's Lamorne something. Anyways, so in one of the podcasts, they spoke about the chemistry with Nick and Jess on the show. Like the actors, they said that they could easily have an entire episode of just their like the stuff they didn't use,
Right.
Because they just would go and feed off of each other.
I like that.
Nice.
Those
All
comedy
right.
movies are probably
So obviously, were we entertained by this movie?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's entertaining.
It's not my favorite Marvel movie.
Sure, but it's not. It's not.
I didn't.
Worst Marvel
I didn't
movie.
hate it.
There you
It's
go.
fine.
Perfect,
It's
perfect.
fine.
Would we recommend it to our mothers?
I mean, I
I'm
guess.
sure she's seen it. I'm pretty sure she's seen it.
I mean, my mom likes RDJ too. So like,
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
who wouldn't want to watch him?
Right. Anyways. I want to take that solo out, but Randy won't let me.
No, I love it. You should leave it.
I like the growl, the
Yeah.
panther, whatever it is.
I don't know. A lot of Whiplash's identifying features were suggested by Mickey Rourke. He wanted to perform half of his role in Russian and consulted on the character's tattoos and gold teeth, as well as having a pet cockatoo. In fact, Rourke paid for the bird and the gold teeth out of his own pocket.
That's commitment.
That's actually
Fucking
good.
wild.
Fuck yeah.
I want a gold tooth.
Did he keep the bird?
I hope he did.
Because like, where did it
Is
go
this-
after?
Is this the bird?
He
I don't know.
Paid for it, so like, where did it
Right.
go?
It's my bird now. I'm taking it home with me.
And his Mickey Rourke's famous dreads. He's always got like the one blonde dread.
He just looks.
No,
like
he had a bunch of them.
dirty-
That one, he had
Yeah.
like they were like gray. I actually thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Which is he just rocks
He looked
that.
good in this movie.
That was one of the first times, the half up man button.
Yeah.
Was a
Look
a
at
thing.
that in 2010.
So,
He
yeah.
made it.
Made it.
Samuel L. Jackson was promised that Nick Fury would be given more screen time by Jon Favreau. Jackson almost didn't return to play Fury due to problems with contract negotiations, but secured a landmark 9-picture deal to play Nick Fury not only in this movie, but in many other Marvel Studio productions.
Yeah.
Ended up coming out.
And
for him.
what if he didn't come back?
Right.
What a big role.
That's
Well,
a big, yeah.
well, how do you replace that?
Yeah.
How do you
And
replace a Samuel L?
Right,
Because
with
it's
who?
not like
Motherfucker.
Rhodey.
Exactly.
Like-
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then all he had to do was wait for Spider-Man to come out, and he had a fuck ton of screen time.
Not only that, I mean, you look at the next couple movies, he
was in a lot.
You're right. Look at
Yeah, Avengers. I mean,
Right.
Jeez.
And you can't just replace 2 black guys in one movie without getting fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Well, I feel like in Spider-Man, what is it, Homecoming? Is the one where,
Yeah, he shoots with Ned in the fucking neck
yeah,
with the dart.
I feel like he had a lot of time. In
You know
that
what's
one.
awesome about that? He is not in the room when they filmed that.
Who? What?
Samuel L. Jackson is not in the room when they filmed that scene
Wait, which scene?
where he
The one
shoots
you
Ned
just
in the
said.
fucking neck.
Oh, no.
So okay, the entirety of Spider-Man: Homecoming, Samuel L. Jackson didn't even meet fucking Tom Holland. It's wild,
How?
dude. A lot of these Marvel movies,
They were in the same fucking
but they weren't.
scene.
Yeah, exactly.
But not, I mean,
But they
did you
weren't.
see
But
them
they
at
weren't.
the same time? I mean,
You
like,
see these
there's-
green screens behind us, Randall?
Yeah.
That's how.
What green screen?
Exactly. Exactly.
Do you mean the black abyss? That's
Oh,
behind
the
us?
Black Abyss.
You're just meaning for actual recording.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Oh, I
so
thought
when
you
they
were
were
I was getting fucked up in the
No,
actual
like
movie.
he
Like,
filmed. They were filmed separate, like
Yeah,
not
right.
together.
So-
different timelines. MCU.
no, so like okay, the new Doctor Strange movie. No spoilers to you. There's a bunch of scenes with other characters from other timelines that are all together. They were not filmed together.
Right,
they
makes
never
sense, yeah.
met each other, but they're in the same shot.
Talking to each other.
Exactly.
Right.
But they've never seen each other.
That's wild.
It is
Well, that's
wild.
we talked about
Why
that
and
on another episode in Blade
because
Trinity.
when you can't get somebody to show up because of money or schedules or whatnot, hey, be here in California at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, if
okay, cool.
schedules-
This other person can't be there until
Yeah.
next Wednesday. Like, fuck it. Have somebody
But
stand
like,
in.
I can't remember what episode it was, but when we talked about Blade Trinity that one time, we talked about Wesley Snipes and how
Yep.
he didn't like
He wouldn't open his eyes.
all the comedy and stuff that they were trying to ad lib.
Right.
So a lot of those scenes with Ryan Reynolds and the other people where they're talking to him, he wasn't there.
Right.
That's savage.
Because he was like, this is a waste of time. Like he didn't like how he wanted to do the script the way that it was. He wanted to just get through straight shot, and they were
And
like,
Blade, he's here to kill vampires.
Exactly. But you know Ryan Reynolds, he wants to just like
Yeah,
riff and do
roll.
shit and see what's
He
going
was
on.
young in that movie.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny
He
too,
was
like
fine.
getting back to
Fine.
was
right. Wesley
Come on
Snipes
now.
would only talk to the director with
Understatement.
post-it notes on that movie.
Yes,
Dude, actors are weird.
I know. Wesley Snipes is weird. Anyways, Jon Favreau had a lot of friction with the Marvel higher-ups due to their constant intervention, to the point that they were having him rewrite the script as the film was still shooting. In particular, elements such as the increased prominence of the S.H.I.E.L.D. subplot were the result of a need to establish the greater Marvel Cinematic Universe in preparation for the Avengers, at the expense of the coherence of the film's own plot. These disputes got so bad that Favreau turned down directing Iron Man 3. So that's what I was kind of getting at earlier.
I'm done.
Right, where he was like,
So
the
he was
movie.
still in them. He was just like, I'm not running the
I'm
same one
not
because I don't
Right,
want to
exactly.
deal with
You
that.
got
Too
Deal
much
with this
corporate
shit.
overreach.
Right, well, again, he was playing a character who
Right.
wasn't written out or anything. But what I'm saying, like, I think a lot of like the Stark with the dad and like the element, finding the element and doing all that, I don't think was in the original movie. And I think that might have been where the reshoots were coming in, trying to add all this stuff to make it make
sure it's
sense.
tied together.
Exactly. And it did it really work? Kind of. Not really. Hammer's factory is really Elon Musk's SpaceX facility in Hawthorne, California.
Well, he was in it.
The people walking around in the background are actual employees, even though filming took place at night. And yes, I do want to say something. And I feel like Elon Musk was like kind of that guy who was doing stuff in the background. Nobody really knew him.
Yeah.
He was in this movie. He saw who Tony Stark was and went, I kind of want to be like that.
Right.
And look what fucking Elon Musk is now,
Yeah.
right? So he wanted to be that billionaire playboy, whatever
Well,
guy.
I love that what he says. He says something about.
Philanthropist.
He says something because he says hi. He's like, "Hey,
Yep.
Elon, what's up?" And he says something. He wants to make something with him. Something.
It's
an idea
a
for
electric
jets
jet
or something.
An
Yep.
electric jet.
Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds terrifying.
Yeah, I know, right? I do want to say one other thing. Elon Musk did not found Tesla, by the way. He fucking bought it. A lot of people are like, "Oh, Elon Musk's so smart. He's done this.
Interesting.
He's done that." Every single thing that's been successful, other than PayPal, he has bought and made better, or just put more money into it and had other people make better.
Interesting.
I think
Right.
his personal life is
It's
a
just fucking
reflection
shitty.
of how.
Oh yeah, he's got. He just came out with like he had twins with some
Like 18 other kids.
right. It's
Well,
fucking-
you heard why? Like he wants to
multiple of his
repopulate
kids-
the world.
Yeah.
multiple of his kids don't even associate with him. They're like, "Fuck that."
right.
He's
exactly.
smart.
Yeah, but is he?
Is
I
he?
mean, like IQ wise.
Do we
Work
need
ethic,
the
yeah.
world?
Street-
Do we need more population?
Well,
No.
supposedly we
No,
do
fine.
because people like us aren't
Right,
having kids.
Exactly. Well, and also
Well, more people are about to be forced to, so we're gonna be. So there's that.
Ivan Vanko originally had a tattoo of Loki on his neck. The film's producers feared it would cause confused fans to believe that Vanko would have a connection to the other villain from the same Marvel Cinematic Universe, so the tattoo was removed in post-production using CGI. Think about that. That's fucking crazy. They had to go through the entire movie every time he's on screen and just remove a tattoo.
Well, they had to do that in The Hangover with the tattoo because Mike Tyson was
Yep.
like,
Yeah, I will fucking sue
"You can't have the same exact tattoo."
Oh, wow.
In the Thailand one,
Second one. yeah.
second one, yeah. They had to go through after.
What's
and-
the capital? Bangkok. Wait, Taiwan.
Oh, you
Bangkok. I fucked it up.
Thailand.
Fucked up the joke. God damn it.
Terrence Howard was replaced by Don Cheadle in part of the part of Rhodes for no perceived reason, with the actor claiming that the original 3-picture deal and matching salary wasn't honored by Marvel. Entertainment Weekly later claimed that director Jon Favreau had not been happy with Howard's performance in the Iron Man original movie, often reshooting or cutting his scenes. When it was time for the sequel, Favreau and co-writer Justin Theroux, purposely reduced Howard's screen time, which led to Marvel to ask Howard, who had been the best paid actor on Iron Man, to accept an 80% pay cut. Although
the best
Marvel,
paid actor on Iron Man.
he was the highest paid actor in the first movie.
Wow.
So although Marvel supposedly maintained it was because they didn't consider Howard vital to the film's commercial success,
I mean,
Howard
true.
refused, claiming that the real reason for the pay cut was to meet Robert Downey Jr.'s reported 2,000% salary
make sense.
increase. Cheadle was then sought as a replacement, and Rhodes' role beefed up again. Although Howard initially blamed Robert Downey Jr. for taking the money that was supposed to go to him and pushing him out, especially since he had recommended Downey Jr. for the role, both actors would later make amends.
Wasn't there
See, but
somebody
that's
else
not really
who thought?
fair. Like, I mean, sorry.
No, you go ahead, Tara.
I feel like that's not really fair because, like, yeah, he asked for more money, but he wasn't like, take it from his salary.
Right. It's not like, hey, there's only so much money to go around here.
And I want more of your money.
Right.
Like it's
exactly.
not like. I mean, that's just how that's how it works.
So the main
business.
problem I see is yes, Terrence Howard was a big name in that era. Then he got hired. He said, "Hey, Robert Downey Jr. should be this fucking guy," and they brought him in. He was, and you know what?
They didn't know that already.
Well, look where Robert Downey Jr. was though. Before that, he was down in the dumps. Nobody wanted to bet on him. He was, drugged up, whatever. Yeah, he kind of went through it. Exactly. So you take a bet on him. It worked, obviously, but it might not have. You know what I mean? Like, who knows what could have happened to somebody else in that role? Hey, you get all the success. I'm going to go back on some drugs. You know what I mean? So they bet on him. It worked. Cool. How do you not give him a fucking raise?
But not only that, it also probably wasn't RDJ's entire idea to go back and renegotiate. Like, it probably was his team. Like, dude, obviously, we're getting you more money. And he was like,
you have an agent that's going, hey, bro. Without Robert Downey Jr., you don't have Iron Man.
Exactly. Yeah,
look at the end of that movie. He says, I am Iron Man. So where are you going to go?
RDJ sees the contract and he's like, oh, cool. But he probably wasn't like, give me this much money. His team probably was.
You never know, right? But I think I agree with you. I think it was more of like, hey, look, we had a success here. Let's give him his due. He's back. Give him what he needs for this movie. Terrence Howard probably was just like, well, I need the same fucking amount of money. And it's like, well, who the fuck are you? You're a bit part in this movie. Now we're writing you down.
Anyone could have played that. That wasn't a Terrence Howard.
Is he the one that was like saying, like complaining about the money he was making and Robert Downey Jr. was making less than him, even though it was his movie? Exactly. There was one person that was like bitching about it the whole time, like thinking
it was Terrence Howard. He thought it was his movie. He was saying, I am Rhodey. I am where this is going. It's turning into Iron Patriot, whatever,
which makes zero
or
sense.
War Machine,
it's
whatever.
Iron Man.
The movie was called Iron Man, so fucking whatever his name is, fuck off.
Terrence Howard. Yeah, well, I mean, we could get into it, but at the same time, I think the movie's better off without him. Even though,
imagine the role, that'd been weird. Like him.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but like I was
come on, man. Like,
it didn't matter. You didn't like with RDJ. Like he is Iron Man.
Yeah, Terrence Howard is not War Machine.
No, anybody could have played that. Like. No. You have multiple other actors that could have been that.
I will say I do like Don Cheadle, but because he changed roles there, I just don't see him as like a serious part in it. Right. So anybody could be that role to me, and it would be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Don Cheadle does a good job. But it's not like I'm watching the movie for Don Cheadle.
No.
Is there anybody else they had like thought about casting for Iron Man?
Oh, there was a whole bunch of people.
that we know.
Yeah.
That we
went over that in the original Iron Man episode if you paid attention. It was Tom Cruise was one.
Me and Wally
you guys were
fucked up.
Yeah, you were drunk for that.
So
maybe go back and listen to it. Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
I am curious too, though. So Tom Cruise
was
one.
If you listen to the first Iron Man one that we did,
that was a long time ago.
Sorry.
We banged. Anyways, all right. So we're at the end here. Final decisions out of 10. What do we give Iron Man 2? Randall.
See him.
Tara?
I say 6.5.
6.5.
I was going to go 6.4.
6.4. Look at you. Got to undercut her.
Because I would have given like the first one a 7, 8. And this one, not that I didn't like it, but it wasn't as good as the first one. So it would seem weird to give it the same rating.
It's kind of predictable in parts. That's what killed me.
But at the same time, like, can you get out from that? Like, you need to do certain things with an Iron Man movie. So it's kind of like, all right. And then that's what I was getting into before with, like, you have the Whiplash getting into an Iron Man suit at the end.
Right.
Like, how do you get away from that?
I was going to bring that up. He was gone so quickly.
Yeah, but at the same time, where do you go? There's so many other robots there that they fucking destroyed.
I agree, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I feel like they fought the drones way more than Whiplash.
They definitely did.
You know what I mean? Like, it took that whole ending. They were fighting the drones or running from the drones or whatever for so long, and then all of a sudden he shows up, and the fight ends in like 3 minutes.
The beam of friendship.
It's funny, right? Oh, I can only use it once.
Right.
The other one, because he was
and
like,
you save it for the very end.
Right. Why not start with that?
Yeah.
Right.
And he's like, well, I can only do it. I also like when he goes to use the ex-wife and it just like hits him and falls.
And then it farts. I could have done without the fart. That was a little.
Like RDJ's like, hammer. And he's like,
yeah. I'll give this movie a 7. I for whatever reason, I have a soft spot for the first couple Marvel movies that were like actually MCU, just because you're trying to get off the ground, you're trying to do this, you're trying to grow the brand. I do want to get into Thor if we do that because I saw a picture today of like him in his original costume, and you're like,
it's not the next one.
that doesn't look good. Like, what the fuck, you know? So I do want to get into that and see it. But I mean, the movie's great. It's not exceptionally like, holy shit, you got to watch it.
Right.
But if you're going through the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you gotta watch it, right? So it definitely builds. It definitely expands the story. It expands the universe. It adds some characters, and then again at the end with Thor, you know, I mean that. Especially when you're going to see that in theaters at the time, you're like, "Oh fuck, we're finally going and growing." You know.
Speaking of that, do you know that like Carrick and I drive me nuts when we're going to see Marvel movies, and there are people still leaving when the credits start. Like, how do you not know?
Amen. Every time the lights come on, people get up. I'm like, "Where are you going?"
Yes,
you know there's gonna be a fucking end credits.
Even when they leave after one, I'm like, "Hello." It's like you don't know that they do multiple now. Like
fucking rookies.
We sit there.
It's been 17 years.
Carrick and I will even Google to see if there's a second, like two,
you need to know
just to be sure before.
But
these people are just getting. I'm like, have you never seen a Marvel movie?
People are stupid.
It's all of them. Every single one of them has a
and
fucking.
Now it's like normally 2.
Yeah,
that's what I just said.
Even
that.
so,
I was not listening.
Even we went and saw the new Thor movie, and even that, like at the end, there is an extra scene at the end.
Yep.
It's not really worth waiting for the last one,
not.
But you know there's something there, so you're gonna wait. And it's like, why are you leaving?
Speaking of, it's not a big spoiler, but like, remember when she whispers?
Wait, I haven't seen it.
That's what I'm saying. Not a spoiler.
Not a spoiler.
She whispers something to him.
Yes.
She said in an interview she will never say what she said. They will not. They will not release what it was.
That's
what
fine,
she said.
and I like that. I like
I wanted to know.
I like
so
ambiguity
bad.
because I like not knowing something.
No, I don't.
There's something with movies where
the new Thor.
Yeah, she whispered to him before she.
Was for other stuff.
Something.
You went too far. I kept it very.
I didn't say anything
simple.
before she did something. It's fine. What I'm saying is, I like a movie where I watch it and at the end I got to think about it, so it stays in my mind for days. If there's a movie that I watch and it tells me everything, I walk out and go, okay, forgot about it.
Do you know I didn't know the bad guy? I didn't know he was playing the bad guy
Christian Bale.
until I saw it.
Christian Bale's amazing.
I didn't know he was in it.
Know
Was Morpheus?
until you saw the movie.
What?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Okay.
Morbius?
No. Don't watch Morbius. That is not part of the MCU.
No.
It's Morbin time.
Have you seen it?
It's so bad.
That's the Jared Leto movie?
Yeah, Jared Leto.
Carrick wanted to watch it.
But Christian Bale, he's like all white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gore the
I
God
didn't.
Butcher.
I didn't know, and maybe I just didn't. I didn't catch it enough in the trailers. Like I didn't see a good enough.
Okay.
But I didn't know
say
it was
Christian
him.
Bale is Gore the God Butcher.
I wasn't. By that point, I don't look at the
All
names. I
right,
don't even give a shit what the names are.
Okay.
But I didn't realize, and I was like, oh shit.
Oh shit, I like it. Anyways, hey, I think that's it. We've all said what we got to say. I want to thank Josh for coming out.
Thanks for having me. Always
Definitely.
a pleasure.
Yeah, anytime you want to come back down and do whatever you said. What was the one movie you said you wanted to do?
Oh man, I said it earlier, didn't I?
Forrest Gump.
Oh yeah, Forrest Gump.
We'll get you back for Forrest
That's
Gump.
a good one,
isn't it?
That's a good one.
Forrest Gump's a great one. And if we ever hit another hockey movie, for
Yeah,
sure,
always. Yeah, for sure.
we got to have you on here. I'm gonna do the plug.
I'm gonna get.
I'll be the plug. Men Behind the Mitts.
Appreciate it. Yep.
Whenever you guys start back up again,
They're on a hiatus.
listen to
right
it. They're
now.
on a hiatus, I guess, for the summer, which makes sense. I mean, summer hockey, whatever.
And
But once they get back,
Jesse
into
had
it.
an addition to the family, so we're taking a little break.
Sure.
You know, getting,
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Exactly.
You know, he's got the responsibility. I got dogs. He has kids. Everything's fine.
It evens out, whatever.
Yeah. Thank you. Always,
Same
I
thing,
appreciate
same
it.
thing.
Yeah.
For sure. Anyways, so next week we're gonna get into a special guest situation. We're gonna do Spaceballs with Greg from Hydra Effects coming in. It's gonna be a fun time. Wally's supposed to be back.
Have you confirmed that with him?
I have
recently.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Why?
He
said it. I'm in his calendar. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Busy guy, yeah.
We'll see. I'll hit him up tomorrow. But he said he's going to be in it. I'm in the calendar. We're going to do it. It's going to be great. Wally's going to be back finally. We'll see if Tara's going to continue. We don't know. Things are going to be fun.
I got a feeling.
I got the feeling too.
Got a feeling.
It's all good. But thanks for listening, guys. As always, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at The Decision Reel. Give us a like, favorite, whatever. Do whatever you got to do.
You want a T-shirt?
If you want a T-shirt, you can go see it on our website at www.thedecisionreel.com. Do what you got to do. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Bye.